in March 2002. So by July, someone told me, Jagdev, I have reversed my diabetes. Okay, so I'm going to share this story with you. It's a 7 minutes. I told her to give me a written, but she says I give you an audio. She prefers an audio. So I want you to listen to this audio. Is it on? No. Okay, it's on. In case you can't hear, but the people that are in the okay, no.
All right, should be on.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Okay, it'll pick up. Okay, I'm going to share this audio with you. Okay.
My name is Jay. I am 66 years old. Today I'm going to share how I overcame my journey as a diabetic. It has been 17 years when I was first diagnosed as a diabetic. I used to have formication sensation, that is things like hands, crawling, and the entire part body. And in actual fact, they don't really exist. It had been a total nightmare. I used to have sleepless nights, staying awake until the weird hours in the morning. Day by day, things became worse and it affected my daily life. I even went for a food allergy test, but the results were clear. Later, I did a medical check and found my sugar readings were 22.2, which was very high. Immediately, I was put on diabetic medicine, and that is where my journey as a diabetic started. In spite of taking medication, I still experienced itchiness and sugar levels were not stable. So just 3 months back, when I met Mr. Jagdev and came to know how diabetes can be reversed, my life totally changed for the better. He advised me on the do's and don'ts. I was put on a very strict diet. He even advised me on how to take my medication step by step. Within these 3 months, my sugar readings started to drop and all problems of itchiness, weight loss went off. I am more energetic now. My readings are now as a normal person between 5.2 to 6.9. I am now on my final journey to beating farewell to diabetic. All thanks to Mr. Jagdev who guided me to the right path. Even my HbA1c has dropped. It is now within the normal range. Just imagine within 3 months, I have taken full control of my diabetes. Isn't it amazing? As I believe in life, nothing is impossible. If you have the willpower to do it, it can be done. I believe even if you are high on insulin, if you follow Mr. Jagdev's advice, you too can control your diabetes. So friends, good luck and all the best. Well, stay healthy, eat healthy. Goodbye.
Thank you very much.
Friends.
Now, this lady had diabetes for 22 years. 22 years. Normally, when you get diabetic, you are given a drug, a medicine. After a while, what happens? You're given the second medication, maybe. Then the third medication. After a while, finally, you will be insulin. Okay? Is it progressing or reversing? It's progressing. Okay. Now she was on 3 medication, right? Of course, I am a pharmacist by profession. I'm not a medical doctor. A lot of people call me Dr. Jagdev G and all that kind of stuff. No, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a pharmacist by profession, but I've done a lot of research work in finding root causes. Root causes. What is causing the problem? Okay. So this lady came to me, and all cases that I manage, I co-manage with a doctor, because by right, I cannot manage anybody. By medical, I cannot manage. If I were to cure, this is a real medical, legal environment that we are in. If I were to cure a person from diabetes, they will catch me and put me in jail, because the legal doesn't allow me to do that. So I don't even mention the word cure. In fact, the word reverse. Okay, I actually spoke to some people in the MOH, medical health. okay, Ministry of Health, and they are the one who told me, said, like, well, you now you can use the word reverse, okay, because why it's already accepted now in the medical world. So this lady was suffering from 23 years for diabetes, and within 3 months, she reversed the diabetes. This is not cerita dongeng. It's not some stories that I've created, real life story. And like that, this is the first person from, as I said, I formed this chat group in 22nd of, in March 2002. By July 2002, she was my first person who says I've reversed diabetes. We have already removed all her medications out. Now, what I'm trying to tell you is that it's possible. That's all. It is possible. Okay. Now, before I go on further, can't move that thing. Okay, it's not moving. Now, anyway, before I go on further, let me tell you something. As I say, yes, now I'm not a medical doctor. You don't have to believe a single word I say here today. You don't have to believe, because it's going to be tough for you to believe. It's tough for you to believe this story. Within 3 months, we have reversed diabetes. Okay, so I tell people don't believe a single word I hear today. Whatever I'm saying here today. Yeah, but I'm here to only trigger your minds. Listen, that it is possible. Listen, trigger your minds. At the end of the day, this health of yours is not up to me, it's up to you. It's not even up to the doctor. You go and do your own research. Either you can follow me, whatever I'm going to tell you, okay? Because a lot of people are going to ask me, how come cannot take this? I've been taking this, our grandparents have been taking this, all 10 courses will be coming on soon, okay? But if you can follow me, half of whatever I'm going to say is already good enough, okay? But if you don't want to follow, do your own research. I'm here to trigger your minds. Do your own research and then check and see whether is this right or wrong. If it's right, follow. If it's wrong, what to follow? Okay, because I'm not here to make you believe whatever I've said. And I got disclaimers, okay? The views expressed here are based on my own personal research, right? It may not necessarily be in line with current norms or practices, because your doctors and your dietitians and your nutritionists may not even agree with whatever I'm doing. Okay. Second, the information herein should not be used to replace any medical advice. So I'm not trying to tell you stop your medications and all that. You please have to follow. In fact, yesterday one lady called me and says, Jagdev, my doctor doesn't agree with you. I said, please follow your doctor, because he comes first. He comes first, right? That lady gave me a call. She says, can you please talk to the doctor? I said, look, I will try to talk to the doctor because she's having a major problem. But I said, you have to follow your doctor's advice first. I am secondary. I'm nowhere. I already told you I'm nobody. I'm nothing. I'm no one. Okay. You have to follow the doctors first. As I say, I'm here to trigger your minds. And thirdly is always seek further clarification from your physicians, nutritionists, or dietitians for advice. That's my disclaimer. Okay, so that I disclaim myself from any legal action against me if you follow me. Okay, next. Okay, now there are 2.6. It's okay there. That one is fine. That one. Okay, there are 2.6 million Malaysians who are diabetic. Okay, and we are the number one now in ASEAN country. We are 19.6. I just saw the figures. About 20%. 20% of Malaysians at the adult age are diabetic, which means 1 in 5. It means 1 in 5 means if I were to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're diabetic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're diabetic. That's how it goes, right? 1 in 5 are diabetic. It's going to be worse only. It's only getting worse, right? I was told that the highest number of diabetics in Malaysia are in Negeri Sembilan. I was just sharing with you all just now. For some reason, Negeri Sembilan has got the highest. We don't know why. Next. Now, two biggest myths in diabetes, which is I'm trying to make a change. Okay, the first biggest myth is that diabetes is a chronic progressive disease. Okay, so now till today, the doctors will tell you this one you got no choice. You have to take medications for your life. We cannot reverse it. True or true? Yes. That's what the doctors are telling you. Okay, that's point number one. Now, the second one is even more important, and this is where I'm going to start to drive this information. This is the biggest myth, okay? That lowering of blood sugar is the primary goal of therapy. Answer is no. I'm trying to tell people, yes, you need to reduce your glucose, but glucose is not the primary reason. In fact, glucose is just a symptom of diabetes. It's a symptom, not the cause. Something else is happening. Okay, so it's not the cause. And the focus has always been glucose, 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 glucose. So much so, they got machines, you got monitoring devices, and you're measuring your glucose every day, measure, and every day taking medication, measure. That's what is happening in the last 20, 30 years, 40 years. Okay, so they are giving you medications, glucose control glucose, very good. Okay, so you feel it's good. Then why people end up with chronic kidney disease? If the glucose was so good, they still end up with chronic kidney disease. And the chronic kidney disease was caused by glucose. So that means there was a good control. Your underlying causes are not being managed. The root causes are not being managed. Right? So this is where I'm coming in. So what is the real? Diabetes is a reversible dietary disease, and I'm proving it every other week. Every other week, I receive information. Jagdev, I have reversed my diabetes. My HbA1c have come down after I explained to you what is HbA1c. And my this has by that, and now my pain have reduced, my weight has come down. These are all part of this whole thing called metabolic syndrome. Okay. And second, diabetes is a disease of high insulin resistance. Okay, your insulins have been going up, and after I'll explain to you why your insulins have been going up all this while, years before you become diabetic. If only you could have done a test 10 years, 15 years, 20 years earlier and check your insulins are going up, you could have controlled your diabetes, you could have controlled your sugar levels, and you would have never been a diabetic. Diabetic is a curse. It's a tragedy. Nobody should be a diabetic. But the world didn't want to tell you this preventive effect, because they're all, see, whenever there's a fire, you know who becomes the hero? The fireman. The industry is a sick industry. They want the fire to be there. They want the fire to be there, then the heroes will come in. They want you to be sick. I know it's a bit difficult, but the industry has made you sick. And that's where the doctors come in as heroes. Yeah, they are heroes. Yes, they are doing a lot of good work. And they're trying to, but who gives respect to the guy who put the hydrant? Nobody knows who the hydrant flare is. Okay, nobody bothers about the hydrant there also. Only when the fire comes, they got a hydrant there. But the person who put the hydrant is more important to me. Okay, that's why I'm trying to tell people prevention is more important. But yet we don't give attention to prevention. In fact, how many people have actually paid? Jagdev, I'll pay you 1,000 ringgit, you prevent my disease. If I got now in my chat group, I got 720 people. If I were to charge them 10 ringgit per month, I said, look, you are getting this information from me for 10 ringgit, half, 3/4 will go away immediately. I'm not asking for money actually, but I'm asking, saying that attention is never on prevention. You will not spend money for prevention. Yet, when the time comes for sickness, money will come out loads. That by that time you are desperate. Money that is saved for your future will be paid for to save you from your health problems. Correct? True or true? Yeah, that's what we are. Okay. Now, so remember this insulin resistance. I'll explain to you in a short while. What is insulin resistance? Next. Now, symptoms of diabetes. These are standard textbooks information. Okay, frequent urination. Okay, basically osmosis is going on, so water is coming out. You know, when there's a high glucose level, the water has to come out. No, osmosis. Okay, simple. Actually, simple. Of course, it's much more complex. Okay, so water is coming out all the time because your sugar levels are high. Okay, so water is coming out. Excessive thirst, increased hunger. Why increase hunger? You are eating a lot more. You're eating a lot more. Okay, but the sugar is not going into the cells. The cells are still starved. You get still hungry. Understand? Because the sugar is not going into the cells. Why the sugar is not going into the cells? I will explain to you as well. Initially weight gain, but then after that there'll be weight loss. Okay, you feel tired because why? The sugar is not going into the cell, so your energy level is low. Simple, huh? Lack of interest and concentration. There'll be brain fog as well. Numbness in the hands or feet. Why? Because your oxygen is not going in there because the flow is very poor. Because you see, once your sugar is higher in the blood, just like you take honey. Does honey flow fast or slow? It's got a lot of sugar, right? So it's flowing. So whenever you got something extra sugar there, it's going to flow fast or slow. So simple, huh? The concept is very, very simple. Okay. So when it's low, it won't reach your extremities. So you get numbness because oxygen is not going there. Blurred vision, of course, it affects your eyes as well. Dr. Kawaljit is another guy who's been doing a lot of work, trying to do a lot of prevention work, the ophthalmologist. He's downstairs. Okay, I really respect this guy. He's also another guy, Rabada Banda, who is going all out to prevent people from getting the blindness in the eyes. Now, my grandfather had one eye blind. My mama is here. He was suffering from diabetes for years. My grandmother was a granthi in the High Street Temple, right? My father's side, all are diabetics. My mother's side, a lot of them are diabetic as well. Okay, can you imagine my coin? Both sides diabetic. Okay. Now the thing is, I became a diabetic. Fasting sugar 8.5. Is it diabetic? I was a diabetic. Okay. But see, even I didn't bother about certain things that I knew about, but I knew exactly how to bring it down. Within 5 days, I brought it down, my fasting sugar to 5.5. No medication. 5.5. I got a friend who came to see me about in March this year. His name is Singh. Some of you may know him. His father. We were all from Batuat. My family, we were all from Batuat. He came one day. Says, Jagdev, my sugar level is 23, 27.
Oh, ticking bomb.
Ticking bomb. So I said, are you on any medication? No, I don't want to go on medication. I said, okay, good. If you don't want to go on medication, actually, I said, you must go on medication by right, okay? But I said, look, if you don't want to go on medication, follow strictly these dietary messages that I have for you. He says, brother, I'll follow through. So he followed through, and within 3 months, he brought it down to 6 to 7. 3 months. Bhagat Singh is also in my group. Okay, so he's another motivator who motivates my team to tell what he's eating and how he's reversing his diabetes. Okay, it's possible. It's so easy if you know how to do it. Only thing is, I need only 2 ingredients from you. Anybody who wants to reverse his diabetes, 2 ingredients, not food ingredients. First is discipline. Discipline, number 1. Number 2, consistency. You must be consistent in whatever you are doing. Okay, there's some people say, look, I want to have cheat days. Go ahead and have cheat days. I had somebody who came to my house to collect a coconut oil bottle, which I also sell now. And she came to me and said, Jagdev, the last time I saw you after a talk that you gave in Gurdwara, and then you went down there and I saw you eating kheer. Say, there on top there, you're talking something, and then now you're eating kheer, la. What la you? I said, I also need some cheat days, lah. I also need some cheat days, okay? But, you see, when you're driving on the road, okay, when you're driving on the road, and when you're feeling sleepy, suddenly you go on the side of the road, how will the ride be? Bumpy, right? The moment it goes bumpy, you wake up and then you come back again. Okay, that's what health is all about. I'm not allowing you, we do sometimes go out off track, okay, but you know where the track is, come back on the track. Simple, right? Okay, to human is to err. Oh, to err is to human, okay? So next. Okay, now, this is a cell. Now, I'm going through very basic so that you can understand this, okay? This is a cell, okay? We got trillions of cells in our body, okay? Human body, yeah, trillions of cells. This is a cell, and this is how the glucose gets in. Here is an insulin receptor. See, glucose cannot go in immediately. It's controlled. Okay, it is controlled, and the insulin is here. It will dock in here. But before insulin gets released from the pancreas is it's an organ. You must have a certain amount of glucose going up there. Then it will trigger the insulin to come in here. So the insulin is like a key. Insulin is a key. Okay, so it goes in there, docks in there. Open the lock. Door open already. So when the door open here, when you open the lock, certain what it is, chemical reaction takes place here, and then it will open this door. Once it opens this door, then the glucose can enter. So the glucose just doesn't enter into the cell immediately. Otherwise, the cell will become too loaded. So it's a controlled process going on there. Okay. Now, what happens? Your own door. Think your own door. What happens if someone take a chewing gum and take the lock door, the keyhole, put a chewing gum there? You come back, open the door. Hey, hold on, it cannot open. Okay, so now go back, next slide. Okay, now, so this is a mechanism how it happens. Okay, so now this is a mechanism whereby the glucose is going in normal, healthier. Okay, so glucose is going in because the insulin receptors are here. Okay, now in type 1, the pancreas is not really working. Actually, type 1 is an autoimmune disease, right? So pancreas is not working, so there's no insulin receptors, there's no insulin, so it's not opening up. Okay, that's type 1. But majority of us are having type 2. Okay, now type 2 used to be known as maturity onset diabetes. Maturity, we all learned it. Okay, I know there's some nurses, probably I'm not sure whether any doctors here. Matron is here. Doctors? Okay, healthcare professionals, anybody other than doctors? Okay, at least I know. Okay, so we all learn this. I'm a pharmacist. We all learn this as maturity onset. Okay, for young people who get diabetic, the type 1 is what was it known as? What was it known as? Juvenile diabetes. Juvenile means Nikkei, Balik. Okay, so juvenile diabetes. So I'm talking about type 2 now. Now this maturity onset diabetes they have coined a different name now, because why? Those days maturity onset means after the age of 40. People became diabetic after the age of 40. Today, you will find people at the age of 30 having type 2. At the age of 20, having type 2. Even at the age of 5, they think it's juvenile diabetes, but they check the pancreas, the insulin is very, very high. How can a 5-year-old child have high insulins in the blood, yet she's diabetic? That means they have maturity onset. Okay, this is the sad case whereby the age is coming lower and lower. That day I spoke to one guy, he says, 27 years old having a heart attack. Now it's quite common, right? We hear such stories right now, but it was never like that previously. Okay, I also do give a talk on heart disease, but today we focus on diabetes. Okay, next. Now, insulin resistance. Okay, I told you that's now a very important point is insulin resistance. We are not measuring our insulin. If you measure your insulin, it would have given you a clue when your insulins were going up. But this is what happens. Okay, now you eat a high carb diet. Later I'll talk about this high carb diet, and you got this fries here, you got the drink there, they're all at sugar. Okay, the fries are sugar. Now the fries contain something called trans fats. You remember yes on the chewing gum? Okay, they are already going to block your trans fats are going to block that. Okay, what blocks that? So in fact, yes, the last time when I gave a talk here in Pembrey, someone asked me, hey, what blocks that thing? I said, good question. Because nobody asked except that person who asked. Inderjit, who asked that question from Putrajaya. I mean the guy who spoke the last time, no? Inderjit. He asked me, what blocks that thing? I say, bad fats. What are the bad fats? Trans fats. Where does it come from? I'll explain to you after. And whenever you fry anything, all that good fats can become trans fats. Anything. Okay, so you must have, especially those have got a lot of double bonds. I'll explain to you afterwards when I come to the talk about cooking oils. Okay, so now these high carbs, so you are always bombarding the system with sugar. Okay, once sugar goes up, what also goes up? Insulin. Because why it has to go up? Because why insulin's work is to bring the glucose levels down. Okay, but if the glucose is always going in, I'll explain to you in a short while. Okay, and slowly the insulins will start to go up, and then it is not. Then the things get blocked. Okay, the key hole gets blocked. Insulin not working because too much of insulin. There's a mechanism whereby it is become numb already. Okay, it's not working anymore. So now you got a lot more glucose there, and then despite your high glucose levels in your blood, you are still starving. You are still starving, and then it goes on round and round and round. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you about insulin resistance next.
You said about insulin check. Is there a test of checking?
Of course, there's a test. Okay, I did my test in 2004. Sorry, 2005. Probably I was the first person to do this insulin test. Now I know you. I'm not so sure whether you will be able to see the board there. Okay, but let me see whether you got a
How do they do this?
blood test. Okay, good. I know maybe if people at home can't see this, but you can hear this at least. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This slide is a very interesting slide. Okay. Now I'm going to explain this to you. Okay. Say for example, okay, I need a different color. Okay. Okay, while they bring a marker pen for me, okay. Now, when we are young, okay, this is the glucose intake. Okay, when we are young, this is the glucose intake. Can you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? I put 7 here, okay. Of course, when they are 20 and 30, I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why I put 7 here? That seventh one, when we are young, is given by our grandparents. Come, I buy for you sweets. Oh, grandmother, grandfather. Oh, they are doing with pyar, you know, but they don't realize you are making them to addicts. Okay, so but the amount of insulin needed is very little because why you're very efficient. Body is still very efficient. Okay, so and you check your blood levels normal. Because here is where I'm going to explain to you why two diabetics, two also take the same food, but one person's sugar levels will be going up like nobody's business, and the other one not so high. There is an explanation, okay? Because some people say, if I eat this, will my sugar levels go up? Depending on what stage of diabetic are you in. I can't give the answer. Best is go and check your blood glucose and see whether the sugar be spiked, okay? Now, say for example, you got 100 trillion cells. Okay, so each 10 trillion I represent with one cell. Okay, so 1 trillion, 2 trillion, 3 trillion, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so 10. So 10 trillion cells, right? Okay, so when you're young, all are working very efficiently. Okay, there is an insulin receptor here, there's a glucose here. Okay, there's insulin there, glucose. So we got these receptors going in. Okay, so now whenever you eat anything, what happens is that your insulins will start to go up, right? Because the insulin will be responding to your glucose level. So every time you eat glucose laden food, 10 insulins will be produced. I'm just assuming. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 for all these 10 lah. Okay, so that this one will work here, this one will work here. Of course, this is 100 trillion. I'm just representing only. Okay, so one will work 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I got 10 insulins here working on all. Okay, now along the way, this one gets spoiled. Okay, but you are still taking the same amount of food, which gives you the same amount of glucose. Okay, so now 10 are still produced. But can't go all 10. Now left 9. One extra, right? So this one extra is now in the blood. Cannot work. Okay, but the glucose level, since cannot go here, can still go here, right? Yeah, can still go there. So your glucose levels are normal. Doctor check, very good. Already got damage. But you don't know yet. Best kept secret. Then after a few more years, another one get blocked. The second trillion, 10 trillion, 20 trillion get blocked. Okay, so now there'll be another insulin. Correct? So insulin is in the blood. So now got more insulin in the blood already. Okay, but the other sugar, the glucose cannot go here, but can still go here, right? Still normal. Doctor said very good glucose level. You also go back. Oh, doctor said very good glucose level. I'm okay. You see what's happening? Best kept secret. After a few more years, this one get blocked. Now already 3. Okay, so glucose still can go in. Got 7 more, but your insulin is already going up some more. You see what's happening? So this diabetes that you all are having may have started at the age of 10, 20, 30, but have started long time ago. My God, now you realize this. The doctors know this. Why didn't they tell you this? Okay, after a while, the next one. After a while, the next one. Now, after a while, the glucose is still the same. It can't go into all. Slowly now, your glucose will start to, from here onwards, the glucose start to go up slowly. But your insulin levels are already going up here. This is insulin levels. If I had checked the insulin levels 10 years before I become diabetic, I would have known I'm going to become a diabetic. Then I would have prevented it and I would have not become a diabetic. You get that message? Now the thing is, if you are diabetic right now, you can't save yourself. Of course, I can help you reverse now. But the problem is, our children, they still got a chance. But let me tell you this. I tried to promote the insulin check in my group. Out of 700 there, only 2 plus came back to me. I've done my one. Nobody is bothered still. Because why? Prevention, and if you don't see the problem is not there.
Why did the doctors not put that kind of another blood test? Why did they use it?
It's the best kept secret. The industry doesn't want you to know this. Okay, of course, in the last, I would say, in the last 15 years, slowly the functional doctors have come in. Okay, there's a group of functional doctors. There are about 300, 500 doctors right now. So I tell them, go and look for the functional doctors. That's what they do. Now, I started this journey. My journey started in the year 2000. This is when I started my journey. And the first person who gave me that big ticket, the big chance for me to speak to the doctors was none other but a great man by the name of Dr. Harnam Singh, ENT specialist. He doesn't know who I am. Of course, I know who he is. You all know, okay? But he doesn't know who I am. So he doesn't know the connection with the family also. He gave me a call one day in the year 2000. He says, Jagdev, I'm forming an anti-aging conference. I'm coming for an anti-aging conference. We need speakers. I heard about you. Can you come and give a talk? Wow, you know how jubilated I felt. Wow, joy. For the first time, I get a chance to speak to doctors. On the other hand, I was also nervous. Oh, sorry, doctors are. They are all going to be big timers. Who am I? How am I going to perform? Am I going to be able to speak well and convince them? Right? And then he says, Jagdev, are you okay? I say, okay first. Never mind. I said, okay. Then he says, Jagdev, if you're okay, can you prepare an abstract? Abstract? Okay. Okay. You have to prepare abstract and submit to us. I had to find a method to find abstract. So that was the big. So at that point of time, it was the beginning of what I was known as the anti-aging and functional medicine doctors was all coming in. Okay, so they have the what it is. They have trained a lot of doctors, right? So not all doctors know what I'm talking about. I did my insulin test in the year 2005. I went to Gribbles, went in Gribbles. Now Gribbles is no more known as Gribbles. It's known as, I think, it's InnoQuest. So I went to Gribbles. I said, look, can you do for me a homocysteine test? Say, yeah, we have. These are tests not routinely done those days. Probably it's also not routinely done now. Okay. I said, can you do you have a homocysteine test? He says, yes, we can do for you. I said, do you do a CRP test? CRP test is to know whether I have got inflammation or not. Those days, not routinely done, even until today, not routinely done, CRP. I said, do you have? He says, yeah, I have. I said, put that also in my blood test. I said, do you have an insulin test? He looked at me. Like this. Homocysteine we have. CRP we have. Insulin, I don't know we have. But who asked you to do all these tests? My own reading. I'm learning, and this is the test that I want to be done. This is when we have to call to Sydney and find out whether they can do the test. So I suspect I was the first person in Malaysia to do the test. Because they have not heard of anybody doing the test. They have not heard of any doctor asking any patient to do an insulin test. Serum fasting insulin test. Okay. So now this is what I'm trying to tell you. Here your glucose levels are going up. Okay. But here, your insulins are already going up. This is called insulin resistance. Because why? The insulins can't work here. Okay, that means there is an insulin resistance. The insulins are not working. So insulin resistance. Okay, and here, when the insulins are going up, it is called hyperinsulinemia. That means in the blood. Don't worry about the words. Means high already insulin. It happens 10 years before you become diabetic. Okay, so now going back on this is a very important for you to understand where it starts, how it starts, and how you can prevent in your children right now if you know how to do it. Okay, so when you are young, glucose level normal. Okay, go older, your insulins are already going up, but your glucose level is normal because the focus is on glucose level, right? Everybody is measuring the glucose. Normal is okay. Okay. Then by the age of 30, your glucose intake is still the same. But you see your insulin levels are already going up. But your glucose is still okay. Damage is already going on, my dear friends. Damage is already going on there. Someone is putting in the keyhole, the chewing gum. Putting, holly is going on. It's getting back to worse. But doctor says your glucose levels is okay, no problem. Okay, and you go back happy and you eat some more ice cream and the jalebi. Correct? Doctor say okay lah. Your wife said don't eat all this. Doctor say okay already. You are creating more problem for yourself because the damage is going on further. You see where the folly is? Something else. This is a very important concept. Once you understand this concept, then you understand that where we went wrong and how we can still help our children who are in their 20s, 30s. Of course, some of you are grandparents. You got children who are 30s now. Okay, you can still help them. Okay, so only above 40, glucose levels still the same, food intake still the same, but your insulin levels have already gone up, and then suddenly the doctor says, "Ayo, Mr. Singh, you are diabetic, you know." Hey, the problem was going on earlier. Nobody told you this. At the age of 40 or 45, then they say, "You are diabetic, Mr. Singh." You get depressed, anxiety. मेरी वाइफ ने सारे जलेबी सी देते हो बर्फी और सारा गुण कटाना. No choice. Okay, even that is wrong. The concept was all wrong. Okay, I'll go on next. So I had to explain a little bit. From this chart tells you that way before your glucose level goes up, okay, your insulin is already going up. And there's a marker that you could have detected it earlier, but nobody told you about it. Not a medical doctor, a doctor. How many of you have heard of insulin tests here? You have. You have, right? Okay. You're a medical doctor. Yeah? No.
No, I do not understand.
You do a lot of research, okay? Okay. So nobody knows this. Until now, nobody knows this. But how many of you got glucose test done on yourself? All. How many of you got glucose, the kit? Glucose meter, how many of you all? Probably all. You are focusing on the wrong thing.
Meter got it.
Huh?
Insulin meter.
Insulin meter. Nobody got insulin meter. Okay, so now the insulin, and then the insulin production will go up after a while. The pancreas will get so much because they are overworking. They're tired. Okay, then the insulin starts to go down. Okay, that's when your glucose levels start to go up. Okay, even at any stage, you can still reverse the process. At any stage. Today, we even seeing patients who are stroke. We can reverse the process and they can walk back again. Neuroplasticity. That's a different subject altogether. Neuroplasticity. Those days, they all thought, the doctors thought, once the brain is damaged permanently. PhD, permanent head damage. But now they have realized you can retrain, rewire the nerves, and they can get back to normalcy, and the person can start walking back again. These are all concepts. Because why? We limited the concept. So this is going back on diabetes. We were told diabetes is a progressive disease. It's a lifelong disease, correct? We were told that. How many were told, no, you can reverse it? How many doctors have to? If I ask a simple question, how many doctors have reversed diabetes? Okay.
They
Now,
increase the dosage only. Where they think,
correct. Okay. I've got in my group alone now, as I said, this lady who you all heard just now, I've never seen her in my life. All I did was this phone that has helped me connect to her, and she has reversed her diabetes. This is not one, so many. I hope Major Sab, you will be able to share. Anji? Okay, wonderful. Okay, I'm glad you came. Okay, anyway, Bogar Singh is also coming. These are real life cases. And Major Sab heard my talk, I think in Klang, couple of this year. We did it together. You were there, right? Okay. And then within a year, he's able to reverse his diabetes. So what's the issue? Okay. Next. Now, why am I focusing on insulin? Why am I focusing on insulin? Okay. Insulin resistance is causing diabetes. This is all you know. Now, even this you didn't know. It was diabetes. It's also causing obesity. It's also causing cancer. One of the causes of cancer. Also involved in stroke. Also involved in gout. Also involved in anxiety. Also involved in PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome. Also involved in you cannot sleep at night. They are involved. Depression, heart disease, hypoglycemia, dyslipidemia, skin, the craving, inflammation, high blood pressure. I have got patients who are high blood pressure. I said, look, you cut off certain things. After 3 months, blood pressure normal. I've done it. I've done it so many times. I don't even know who these people are. On the phone only. One word they tell me, and it gives me the one word they tell me, and it gives me the courage, give me the motivation to go to the next step. Thank you. Okay, wonderful. Next step, next person, I go. Next person, I go. Because why everybody needs this help? They were not told about this part of the dietary and how this is alone good enough. Okay. Next slide. Okay, yeah. Oh, okay, go. Okay. Yeah, can I call upon Pat? She's got a story to tell.
You're not biased, huh?
No,
I'm not biased.
I will tell you it's not biased because why she brings evidence. Evidence.
Okay, why he said not biased is because I'm Jagdev's sister. Okay, so I'm Jagdev's sister, I'm Pat. Okay, right. So Sat Sri Akal to all of you all, and also to my the home viewers who are watching through Zoom. Okay, a very good morning, a healthy morning. Okay, going to become healthier after this. Right. Now, my glucose fasting has never been above 6. Okay, so below 6. Below 6 means I'm non-diabetic, right? So I should be happy life. Okay, so enjoying my sweet lifestyle. Okay. So if you think that I have all this information beforehand to all of you all, of course I have. Why? Because Jagdev actually prepares all his talks and he rehearses his talks with us, the family. Okay, so when we ever have family gatherings, okay, so he will always tell us about all this information. So we do have all this information prior to everyone, okay, because we all his rehearsed platform lah. Okay, so so with my glucose level below 6, normal. Okay, so normal. In 2021, I decided to do a full blood test. Okay, this time, listening to Jagdev, I decided to throw in the serum insulin test. Okay, so my serum insulin test. Okay, the next slide. Evidences or not biased. Okay, look at that, ma'am. So my fasting plasma glucose test is 5.2. Normal, right? Good, right? It has been like that all the while. Okay, but look at my serum insulin test. It's at 12.5. Okay, 12.5, and this is the doctor's handwriting. So he already told me it's pre-diabetic, and he says in 5 years' time, you'll be full-blown diabetic. Okay, if you don't do anything about it. As you can see, the date is November 2021. So he said, he knows Jagdev also. So he said, follow Jagdev's advice. And in 6 months, we'll do another test. Okay. Now, how you know how it is, isn't it, with Punjabis? The discipline level is not that high. It is not really discipline. Sometimes we think it's just one laddu here and one gulab jamna here, a little bit of mithe chol. Put in one wedding, we have 3-4 days of festivities. It's the accumulative sugar. So it's the accumulative sugar that's doing the damage. Okay, fine. So I thought just little bit here, kurang gula, okay lah, fine, no? Okay, so came April, when I went to see the doctor again, my weight, and of course, the doctor will always tell you to bring down your weight. Somehow or other, weight and insulin, sugar, they are somehow connected, no? So I'm 65 kg at that time when I see him, so he asked me to lower the weight. In April, when I went to see him, my weight went down 0.5 only. So he knew that it won't be a good serum insulin result. So he told me, he said, I think we'll put you on metformin for 3 months. So the why is, okay, you hear medication now, metformin, you feel that metformin now. Why, doctor? Why? Like, why you want to go on I'm a Jagdev's sister lah. Must jaga his reputation also, right? Not. I say, why? He says, to help you a little bit. Metformin can help you a little bit, but we don't want to go on long term lah. So he said, okay, I tell you what, I give you another 1.5 months. Okay, so you do whatever you need to do. In 1.5 months, then we'll do another we'll do the blood test. Hasn't done the blood test since November. So, okay, this time it was really disciplined. Okay, so I know I had to do something about it because I didn't want to go on medication. Right, so it was a real no sugar for kopi o, teh o. Okay, I did that. And then intermittent fasting. Okay, so I also did intermittent fasting. Okay, exercise. Yes, because I was teaching in this school, which was 10-story high. Okay, so what I used to do is I used to climb up the staircase to my classes, which was starting from the 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so climb up and down. So I'm already getting my exercise there. Okay, and atta, my house is a no sugar zone. So if you want to come to the house, because it's so easy when the whole family goes along together with you. you know. So it's a no sugar zone. You want to come to the house, bring your own sugar. Okay, so no sugar zone, no atta zone also. Okay, because atta, yeah, Jagdev will later tell you, because of the gluten and all that. Of course, we have something else to counter attack the atta. We have other kind of attas. Okay, let Jagdev deal with that. Okay, so for 1.5 months, I followed through. When I went to see the doctor, my weight came down 4 kgs in 1.5 months, and this was my results after 1.5 months. Wow. Wow. The serum insulin came down to 4. Okay, now the doctor was happier than me. Like, you know, so the doctor, he says, wow, this is great. And then can you see or not? Non-diabetic. He says, you are the, in 6 months, in fact, in 1.5 months, real discipline. So he told me in 1.5 months, he says, I will send this. He wanted to send the results to Jagdev. He said, I'll have to tell Jagdev about this. Okay. So 1.5 months, I brought down my serum insulin to 4 from 12.5. So it's a very doable thing. Okay. And thank God I got it then. Okay, and thank God to the advice, okay, from my brother that I threw in a serum insulin test. In fact, I went last week to Path Lab. They do a serum insulin test for $200 for walk-in, but of course, you must be fasting. Okay, so this is with evidence, my testimony. Okay, so please follow the result. Follow the advice given by Jagdev. Okay.
Thank you.
Can I just ask one question? It's written there in the brackets that.
And I was just going to address that. Okay. I'm going to address this. You see, firstly, it is not about glucose. You can catch your problem much earlier with insulin. That's the main message here. Okay. Now, if you are diabetic, doesn't matter, but you find someone who is non-diabetic. Mere ko diabetic hai nahi. I'm not diabetic. Go and check your insulin levels. Because why? You're already on your way. I just met yesterday someone. I got no diabetic. Okay, but just go and check. Because why? It is already on your way. Now, I understand. I was just going to address one issue here. Okay, can you see here normal? This is 2.6 or 24. Okay, now it's a very wide range. Okay, I don't know who came up with this range. Okay, maybe by the time they came up with the range, people, they normally do a bell curve. In statistics, they go to a bell curve. It was already the 90% of people were already there. Okay, so what these experts are now saying is that the world expert on diabetes and insulin, it should be below 6. Below 6. Then you're okay. 6 to 8, okay. I just did my test just about I think 2 months ago. It was 6.3. So even I am not there. My sister is even better. So then I know, okay, this is a rough patch. So I just go back again. Go right. Deepavali just passed, right? Okay. So remember this, use 6 as your gauge, not this range. Not this range. This range is wrong. It's too wide a range. Okay, next. Now, so how do you know you're diabetic? Of course, a lot of people do this test. Okay, it's a good test to tell you where your glucose levels are, but you must understand it's the insulin that's more important. That's the main message here again. Insulin is more important than glucose. Get it done once, twice a year at least, right? Now, of course, you can do the blood. The other one is do HbA1c. Okay, how many of, I'm sure you all know HbA1c. Now, what is HbA1c? I'll explain to you. Next. You see, in your blood, there's red blood cells, right? So this is the red blood cells. In the red blood cells, there's a component called hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is a protein. Okay, hemoglobin is a protein. And these red blood cells has a lifespan of about 120 days. Well, after 120 days, it will change. Old one will die, new one will be brought in. So that's why if you had seen me 2 years ago, that person who came 2 years ago, all his cells are dead. Me. 2 years ago, if you have seen me 2 years ago, okay, all the cells of that person who you saw 2 years ago is dead. All the cells now are the newer cells. So your cells are always rejuvenating, right? So evolution is going on all the time. We are dying and rebirthing all the time. This is another concept, okay? There's a spiritual concept, okay? So now this glucose will bind with the protein, okay? It's a process called glycation. Okay, so glycation is a process whereby the glucose will bind with the protein. Okay, certain amount is allowed. Okay, so now this is a certain amount which is allowed, naturally binding to hemoglobin. This binding creates a glycated hemoglobin HbA1c. That's the complex there. Okay, so now in a diabetic, next one, in a diabetic, what happens is that, next one. Okay, it's normal. When there's too much of glucose circling around in your blood, there's a higher chances of more glucose binding to the hemoglobin, right? And it will stay on for how many months? 120 days. See, we are getting smarter, right? Okay, so now that's why when someone tells me my HbA1c is 6.8, it tells me for the last 3 months you got poor control. 3 months.
There for 3 months.
Because it's been there for 3 months. Okay, and it's only going to go higher. So you do every 3 months once. So this is a low HbA1c. This is higher. So the normal is below 5.7, right? So the moment you go 5.7 to 6.4, you're already pre-diabetic, and then it goes further higher. So this is what actually happens in HbA1c. It's your proteins binding to the excess glucose. So the more excess glucose you have, the more it will bind, correct? So they use this as a marker whether you got a good blood control in the last 3 months. Okay, but if you go back, if your insulin levels are normal, that means it tells me your blood control is superb. It's so good because you are not even diabetic, but your insulin levels are already below normal, right? Or normal or below normal. Okay, so that's why I focus on insulin as a test. So there are 3 tests you can do: blood glucose test, HbA1c test, and serum insulin test.
So
Okay.
your insulin levels are high, and your, let's say, insulin resistance, because it's not going into the cells.
Yeah.
A lot circulating in the blood, and more it's sticking.
Yes. So HbA1c will probably go up, but your glucose level will still be normal in my sister's case because there's enough of cells that the glucose can still go in and hide inside. Okay, next.
Test is just test glucose.
Correct.
So that means even if you go to a specialist, they will need to do first time.
Okay.
They will never do the insulin.
That's why.
The first time you're telling me that I should do a serum insulin test to see the real.
You know why? Go back. Because why? For me, I am not only here to control your diabetes. Everything is related. That's why I want to focus on the insulin.
Because why? Why is out of the food test.
Your HbA1c is normal.
It's actually
Slightly raised.
The doctor wants me to so that is which I somewhat don't agree.
Okay.
Maybe the specialist, okay. I got a GP.
No, I mean, I don't mention names. I got a medical doctor in my group. Okay, I got a medical doctor in my group, and she has reversed her diabetes, and she has cut down her metformin from 1,000 milligrams to 250 milligrams. That's already reversing, right? From 1,000, and she went to see an endocrinologist, and the endocrinologist told her, "There's no such thing. You have to put back to gain maximum or optimal management of your diabetes. You have to go back to 1,000. So, yes. Now, I got another case. Okay, this guy is from up north. He followed the diet and he removed his insulins out 6 units. He says, "I'm okay, normal." And then he went to do his blood test in the Klinik Kesihatan, and they showed the results were there, and the doctors gave everything back to him. He says, no, I'm no more taking insulin. The results, they didn't believe him. Says it's because of your drugs that this results are good. And they put him on everything else. So he gave me a call, say, Jagdev, what to do? I mean, I can't, I said, can you give me your blood test? He says, blood test they keep. Ministry of Health will keep the blood test. I said, look, can you do me one favor? You have to go outside and do the test. Because why? I use that as a basis for me to make a judgment, right? So he came back with another blood test. It was superb, wonderful, except for one thing there, vitamin D was a bit low. I have put him on extra vitamin D. Vitamin D, I'm a pharmacist, I can prescribe, okay? I can prescribe vitamin D, right? It's not a medication, okay? So I told him, I said, look, your vitamin D is low. I said, you need to manage vitamin D and rest is all okay. Beautiful results. Yet the doctors gave him a tabba of drugs there. Where he says, this is the one which is causing. So they don't understand reversing diabetes. Because I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Please don't blame any doctors here, okay? They're just that the structure is different there, okay? Yeah, they follow guidelines. And they have to follow guidelines. If you don't follow guidelines, they will be picked up and they will be questioned and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so I got guidelines to follow. I just follow my guidelines. And I already told you, don't have to believe a single word I say. Okay, next. Down. Okay. Next. Okay, next. Now you understand this. So same thing is happening. If it's happening in your hemoglobin level, okay, it's also happening in your collagen levels, it's also happening in your skin, it's also happening everywhere else. That's part of aging. Okay, now there is another thing. There are some certain foods can cause advanced glycation end products. Next, see, all this food
Yum.
yum. Okay, they all got something called the advanced glycation end product, and they are actually they are binding with sugar and proteins already binded outside the body. You know what you do? You put sugar here, right? Or there's a lot of sugar. Atta is also sugar, right? Okay, yes. So they are already binding with protein outside, and once they go in, they are already pre-formed age or glycated products ready. Of course, your body is also producing glycated products. Okay, so this is part of aging. See, and the word is age, AGE. Next. AGE, see AGE, advanced glycation end products, and they are causing aging. And they are also another factor which causes cardiovascular disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's disease, stroke, and all. So they all are interrelated, like all adik beradik satu. Okay, next. Okay, now this is a test that I've done myself. Okay, this is a test where I was introduced by Dr. Radha, a good friend of mine. I've known him for 30 years now, and they take a follicle test, your follicle, hair follicle. Okay, it is part of bioresonance. Okay, they take a follicle test, the hair follicle, they put on the machine, and then it gives you a 38 page or 37 page results. It's about some doctors are charging about 600 ringgit, and that's where I found out I had chromium deficiency, and chromium deficiency is linked to diabetes. You see how I found out that I could be having diabetes if I don't manage this myself. So what my sister said was about insulin. Okay, but we can detect chromium deficiency, we can detect other deficiencies as well. Now I was detected with sodium, and this tells me that I'm under stress. Okay, because I was going through stress. This test was done about I think 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Around. So, and then there were also in proteins, there's a leucine and isoleucine. I was found to have a lack of that, and that is also linking me to diabetes in the future. I am actually genetically probably I'm diabetic, but genetically I may be diabetic. But next one is very important. You can switch on and switch off the switch. This is called epigenetics. The genes are there, but the genes can be express itself, but you can also suppress the genes. And how do you do it? See, if you don't give your body any glucose, how is the body going to become diabetic? Even if you have all the genes there, it will not work. Because why? It's not conducive for your body to become diabetic, because although you got the genes there, you have just switched off karta. So these are the genetics. This is epigenetics. You can switch on, you can switch off the genes. Okay, and there are various substances that can help you switch off and switch on. Glucose, white flour, definitely is going to switch on your genetic genes for diabetes. white atta or maida. Definite 100%, which means roti canai is a definite no. But that's a breakfast for all our people. Malaysians. And the roti canai become the number one bread in the world. Someone just told me this recently. Okay, now David Singh. Yeah. Okay, so I eat about 3 or 4 times a year, cheat lunch, 3 to 4 times a day. But people eat every week, every day. Okay, that's going to switch on. But right now, today morning, how many thousands, hundreds, thousands of Malaysians have eaten roti canai for their breakfast? Maybe millions. Okay, they have just switched on their genes. So it's about switching on and switching off your genes. Some of you are, in fact, when people who come here are actually much more learned. They are, like Penji, like yourself, they have read a lot and they're not diabetic, or they're diabetic, they know how to manage it. But the people outside there, you are, see, the thing is right now, I'm talking to how many of you here, say 50, 60, 50 of you all?
No, it's
50, 38 here.
No, 48 here, at home 70.
70. 100. So I'm talking about 100 people. No, I'm not talking to 100 people. I'm talking to 1,000 people. I see 1,000. I don't see 100. So everybody is, one person is going to talk to 10 people.
Yes.
So I'm saying 1,000. You see, when I first started my talks many years ago, you know how many people came in front of me? 3. But that didn't deter me from giving the same passionate talk that I always give. 3 people in front of me. You got no more to talk, right? No, I get the same talk because I don't see 3 people there. I see 300 people there. I said, coach na coach hoga, koi gal nahi. Rabba mere mure main piche. Oh, dasdara. He will show me the way. Okay, next. So, where does it start? You'll be shocked. Where does it start? You will say food, diet, nutrition. Actually, some people say maybe it's an arteries, maybe it's in the pancreas. Where does diabetic starts? Next. It starts, okay, of course, these are the food. Okay, these food are going to relate or interact with your gut system. That's where it starts. Your gut system, your whole gut system, that's where it starts. Okay, you can't run away. You're either taking carbohydrates, fats, or proteins, correct? Right? Now, whenever people say carbohydrates, there is a misconception about carbohydrates. Most people think carbohydrates means rice, bread, sugar. Okay, this is what people think. Okay, people think in their mind carbohydrates must go on low carbs, high. Okay, if carbohydrates is rice, bread, sugar, and all that kind of stuff, where do you place vegetables?
Oh, yeah.
You see, a simple question I ask, and people are already like carbs, proteins, fats. Where do you place vegetables? Okay, there is. You see, it's either carbs, fats, or proteins. In the carbs, there are fibers there. Okay, that's part of fibers. Yes, there are fibers, but they are partly. If you ask me where do I put carbs? Sorry, vegetables and fruits. It's carbs. Cellulose. It's carbs. Okay, but these are good carbs. They don't spike your glucose levels high. So you should be taking a lot more of this, right? So fats, of course, straightforward fats, okay? Fats also come in different types of fats, omega-3, omega-6, omega-9, omega-7, omega-5, and then each time got saturated fats. It's so complicated, polyunsaturated fats, monounsaturated fats, and then got trans fats, okay? So it can be very complicated. Proteins, okay? There are 22 different, there are essential proteins, non-essential proteins, and these are the microvitamins or micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, and water, okay? So these are components of food. Okay, next. Now, they all interact in your gut. Okay, they have to interact in your gut. Okay, that's where the problem starts. Because why? If you are going to give the wrong food, there are bacteria there. There are lots and lots of bacteria there. In a short while, I'm going to shock you with some really, really fantastic information. Okay, but people say they're about 85% good and 15% bad. In any community, there'll be some chore, there'll be some thieves there, There'll be some thieves there, but the police is controlling the thieves. Okay, just like that, the good ones are controlling the bad ones. There are always bad ones there as well. Okay, so there's so many bacteria there. Now, how many bacteria do we have? They interact with the food. Okay, next. This is going to be a little bit of a difficult information to digest. Okay, human cells, you're only 43%. If I count all the number of cells that you have in your body, human cells, 43%. How many cells do we have in terms of the microbes? Okay, 57%. It means there are more of them than us. There are more bacteria, or I call them microbiomes. They are more than us. Then who are we? Are we the host or are we the visitor? Think. We think that they are hosting us. Maybe we are the visitor. They are hosting us. I don't know. But for me, they are demigods. You know why? Everything about us. These bacteria control everything about us. You know why? See, we are only 43% human cells. There are 57 microbial cells in our body, right from our tongue, everywhere, our mouth, buccal, our whole body. Okay. Now, in terms of genetics, that gets even more complicated because in each cell, okay, we have got 23,000 genomes. Okay. Now there, the other side, just take the next one. In terms of genetics, this is human cells. Human cells, we are 43%. In terms of genetics, we are only 1%. 99% of the genetics in our body is controlled by the microbes. You think you're great? 99% of the genetics in our body is controlled by the microbes, which means your behavior, your cravings, your attitudes, your everything is actually all managed by your bacteria. Bacteria are controlling you. Bacteria, you feel like you are in control. Actually, the bacteria are controlling you. It's something very, very new science. Okay, you can read more about this, but it's very interesting science because why? This will lead to the next. We see before that, more than half of the cells in the human body belongs to microorganisms that can influence your mood. Your weight gain comes from them. They are the one which causes your weight gain. Your food cravings. You know, your food cravings, we are feeling what we want to eat. Okay, that microbes are sending neurotransmitters to your brain, telling you what to eat. Who is controlling who now? Who is controlling who? Okay, now the thing is, if you feed the microbes with the wrong type of food, that microbes become more or less. If you feed the microbes with the wrong type of food, that microbe will become more or less, more. Because now they're getting that food, so they're growing faster, right? So this set of groups, say for example, there are 5 set of groups of bacteria, or 5 set of groups. So one is getting all the food. So this one is going to grow, right? Is he going to ask for more or less? More. What is he asking? More for the wrong food. So to cut them off, you have to cut off the wrong food first. Then once you cut them off, then the right bacteria will come and support you. That's the basis of health. Basis of health is to get the right bacteria to help you. That's why, in terms of cells, there are 57% of them. In terms of genetics, there are 99% of them. You're only 1%. And you are in control? No, you are not in control. You think you are in control. They are controlling you. This is real science. This is new science. When I saw this information 20 years ago, it was so mind-boggling. It's so mind-boggling. I thought, my God. One friend of mine says they are the demigods. Control you. I'll tell you why they're demigods. Next slide will explain this to you. You see, your human genome is here. Your human genome is only 23,000 genomes. Okay. You think health and disease. Okay. So human genome, good human genome gives you health. Bad will give you disease. But you see how the gut, based on the age, based on the diet, based on demography, malnutrition, antibiotics, probiotics will decide what is controlling you. And this then will control the human genome. So not how the thing is all about. So where does all your chronic diseases starts? They starts in your gut first, in your gut cells. Heart disease where it starts, gut. Diabetes where it starts, gut. Everything starts from the gut. And doctors knew about this about 50 years ago. There was a thing saying that all chronic diseases start from the gut. And I actually researched back, and he also written in one of the hadiths, punca segala penyakit adalah dari perut, something like that. Even in the hadith is mentioned. Okay, so this is something that we need to control right now. So 80% of the food, 80% of your makeup of your health is your food. 20% exercise. Okay. Next. Okay, so this is just to explain. Okay, just to explain how your gut gives you normal biosis, and this is dysbiosis. And this guy is young. This guy is healthy. This is unhealthy. These are the microbes: Firmicutes, Bacteroidetes, Actinobacteria, and Proteobacteria. Don't worry about the words. Okay, but you see the composition. For a healthy person, the composition for a non-healthy person, it changes. And once it changes, your health will change, either to good or to bad. It starts at the gut. If you feed the right food, you get the right bacteria. Feed the wrong food, you get the wrong bacteria. And the wrong bacteria are going to start the disease process. It starts very early when you are in your teenage years, when even in your infant years, it's already started early. It's taking the wrong route if you're taking the wrong food. Okay.
Any difference between male and females?
Male and females, there's also difference as well.
Okay.
Okay, next, because hormones are different, the hormonal plays are different. Next, so the first thing to do to control diabetes. Now, before I do this, can I call Sardar? Let me call Bogar Singh first. I'll call Bogar Singh first. Okay. Now, he didn't come for my talk. He has never been for my talk. You're listening here for the first time, right? Yes. Thank you very much for coming. Okay, I saw him only once. That was for another reason. He came into my group. Avtar Singh brought you into my group. Okay, Avtar Singh, the Naujawan Sabha Jathdar those days, he brought him into the group. He knew that he was having diabetic. He came to my group. I think what? Okay, 4 महीने हो गए. 4 महीने हो गए. Okay, 4 महीने हो गए. He was diabetic. Aapki kahani. Please tell us your story.
Why?
You mentioned I'm focusing on Rawang. If you do not know me. Okay, let me just explain myself before I talk about how I came to this and how I am now. Right. I was known diabetic since the age of 40. No family history, no my father's side, no my mother's side, nobody got diabetic, only I got diabetic. That means it's not genetic. Right? The diabetic too, I can see it's not genetic. It is our karma. The karma we create, that's what we get there. Same thing here. What we feed inside the stomach, that's what we get there. Very important is our diet. After coming, I didn't know about it after coming to the group. Before you eat a lot, you won't be surprised. I was suddenly very pangy there. I can take 20 plates at one time. You are not hungry. 20 chapatis at one time if I'm not hungry. I used to do it. My wife is a good cook. She's from India. So I keep on eating. Pail of milk, half pail of milk, I just bring like that. So I just take them from a buffalo and just cook. This when you take that, you must only burn out the fats also. If you're taking a good food, you're able to burn out the fats. When you cannot burn out the fats, you get the bad things. My body was, I used to carry about 30 to 45 tons a day on this body. Not kilos, 30 to 45 tons a day on my body used to carry. To get some extra cash. I was working in a cement company as a clerk. But then I used to go and carry cement bags for extra cash. One bag 50 kg, 8,000 more bags per day. Okay. Then as I came to the age of 40, I was told by a doctor that I'm on a level to get diabetic. I said, "How can I get diabetic? I'm very strong, I'm doing all the job and all this, good my time. And for you to dwai khane bag, diabetic. All those are dwai khai janna. And I came to know Avatar, I was talking to him, actually I'm okay. The only thing is diabetic is giving me a problem. But say, don't bother, I keep on taking medicine. He said, Virji, I will introduce you to a group. Virji Jagdev Singh Buller. He will guide you in a good manner. So I came to this group, and today here I am. After 3 months following him up, I think last month that I haven't seen my doctor. He said, throw one medicine away. And I was on a 60 mg of Dimicron, took away 30, only 30 taking now. But after 3 months only, it's again your diet, what you eat. What you want to feed your stomach is what you get back. I just tested my HbA1c 4 days ago. Results 5.5. Fasting 3.7. That's why I keep my medicine away. Now today I took food. I haven't taken medicine yet. I feel still okay, no problem. Yesterday I went and saw Dr. Bhagwan. He told me, even this medicine you take off. This I take on only Demicron now. Morning, 1 piece of Demicron. Sorry, metformin. You can throw away the 30 and you also. So it's harder apna manda vichar ki khana ki isme ki.
What did you eat?
Okay, what did you eat? It's not everybody can eat what I eat. I can eat the food you are taking. Depends on the system in your body. Alright, I started to already test my own body. What I did, I started eating dosa and idli every morning. Either it's rava dosa or normal dosa and one idli. Same thing goes in the evening. Or I think you go home and ask my wife to make roti with millet flour. Besan and atta mix a bit, it's easier to make roti. If not, millet is difficult. Oh, and I don't disturb my wife a lot because she's not feeling well. So I know she's not well, I go to shop, I buy dosa. I don't take cha. I don't eat cha. No sugar at all. I mean, white sugar, not at all. No milk. Just coffee or green tea. And I lost about 15 kg.
15 kg.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you for 1-2 years. I can see the difference.
That's why my friends tell me, Bogar Singh, what happened to you? He was like that and now like that. He's better easy to carry.
Sleep. Look younger.
Huh?
Look younger.
Yeah. I mean, I feel happy where I feel I'm healthier. I got more energy inside. I walk every day 1 hour. That's interesting. Send my grandchildren to school, park my car on the roadside. I do one walk for 1 hour. I don't do any heavy exercise. No. Yes, I do a stair climbing. That I'll do. I got a bad injury on my back due to carry weight. I got cervical problem. I've seen many doctors and it's not going away. The only person to heal this was my brother, Jagdev Singh AA from Ipoh. His hand touched my body, it would just get better. But I go to any other doctor in Malaysia. I don't know why.
The magic.
His hands are very good.
What is your age?
17. Take the one and put it back.
Mentally,
It's very important.
psychological.
Whatever you got in your body, you don't get worried. By worrying, it won't go over. You get more stress. With more stress, your diabetes works more higher.
Positive, right?
Jana, aaya, jana, pehna. Kime jana pata nahi ga. Why worry about it? Can we stop from that? Enjoy your life with whatever you can. Don't go over the limit. Over the limit, even food is poison.
Yeah.
Eat within your limits. Even anything you do, over the limit is poison. Too much exercise also is poison. As a good doctor, so very good. Every day doing good exercise, very hard, good weight, but that died with a heart attack. Why? No proper rest. I have friends like that. We have to take care. The body is only once to us. एक मेरी बेटी है, तो नाम जप जाओ, खाना खाई जाओ, अपना काम करी जाओ। पहली गल आ, मन मारना पैंदा, मन नूं जितना पैंदा। जे मन जित जाएंगे तो जग नूं जित लांगे। गुरु बाणी कहंदा, मन जीते जग जीत। सेम थिंग, साडा खाना मुंह आई खाइए, वो भी खाइए, ये भी खाइए। This is actually the cells in our body, I have demigods. They will, nice, tasty. Eat when you're hungry, not when you want to taste. When you, actually, I've stopped one meal, maybe 2 meals nowadays. 10 o'clock one, 5:31. After 5:30, no food. In between, I bite some carrots, I bite what you call a cucumber, what you call tomato, even curry.
How do you go to
Yes, good question. I have my main Nangar Gurdwaras. Every Sunday, 2 protein chops. Every Sunday, yes. They, I never miss. I eat egg, my sugar never go up. I don't know why. I eat egg because it doesn't go up. Today, very good example, I took my breakfast, not taking any medicine yet. I still say I'm okay. Because if I get like sugar higher, I get itchiness. Because doctor told me, you don't stop this, you want to. But let me see my main doctor first, then I'll stop this. You told me earlier, right? Very soon you'll stop it. Hopefully, this 30 mg will be kicking off very soon. That means diabetic was a sickness for me, no more.
Yes.
Thank you, Alex. I must thank please Jagdev, including the group and guiding me on this line.
Thank you. I'm so happy. You know, he gives me that courage, motivation to carry on. Sometimes maybe no, he said 2 things very important. The firstly is he said what it is, his sugar levels went 3.7 fasting. Okay. I wanted to alert you when the sugar levels are going too low. What does it mean? Hypo. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, but why it is going low? Because he's still on medication.
That means you have to.
Yes, so that means he's still over medicated. It's a concept. It's a concept. And whenever your sugar levels go low, what do the doctors tell you?
Reduce
It's sugar.
Milo, condensed milk, eat the bread, bring the sugar level up. No, it is an indicator. It's an indicator you are over medicated. So you need to remove your medications out. But doctors, do they remove medications out? I don't say anything. Okay? You now become smarter because at the end of the day, it's your health.
Yeah. If can, everyone must take 2 spoons, at least a tablespoon, haldi.
Oh, I thought sugar.
Haldi with black pepper inside. Yes.
No, you must make it.
Curry बना के आप बना के
Fresh.
green हल्दी बना के वो पानी बना के definitely will be better. I'm very sure.
The water.
Now, okay, thank you very much. Actually, I did a lot of research on haldi itself. I used to give a scientific talk on haldi, on turmeric or curcumin to doctors. I've gone anti-aging conferences and I give the information is mind-boggling. What haldi can do to your body, amazing. It's an anti-aging, anti-cancer, you name it, anti-everything, anti. Okay, it's one of the most inflammatory as well. Okay.
How much do we take?
Huh?
How do you take it? How much you take it?
How much do you take?
Okay, we ask questions, we answer this, okay, because I need to finish my slides first, okay, I've got now, we're only 29, I got another 60 more to go, 50. No, the others are very, all words, come, next. The food you need to go. This the food you need to go is an anti-inflammatory, anti-diabetic food. And this is the food for your microbes. Your microbes will love this food. The right microbes will love this food because why? They are the one which are going to reverse your diabetes. And this is the food that I take every day, almost every day. Or I got a helper who makes one big bowl like that. I take half in the morning, half in the evening. She fills up with all this kind of food and nuts and you name it, chia seeds and many other things. Okay, and this is food for your microbes. Oh no, please take care of them first. They are going to take care of your health. Take care of them first. Okay, this is where we start. Okay, next. Now, this is your ancient parents. Hunter-gatherers. Okay, your ancient parents. Their breakfast was roti canai. They had prothe. Early morning, the mother would make prothe for them. And then they had nasi lemak also. They had nasi lemak. And tea was wonderful tea they had with condensed milk.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, they were alive. If they were not alive, they would have been dead. Right? They were healthy people. They knew what to eat. Along the way, we got lost. We went off tangent. Okay, because they never add roti canai, they never add meat or wonton meat or whatever it is. Your next breakfast, think. Okay, be mindful, as Dr. Pal was saying. Be mindful of what you're eating every day, because why? You cannot say, oops, I've taken the wrong food. Your hand, your mouth, your food. Oh, I took a barfi today. I took 10 barfis today. I'm so sorry to my body.
Blame the microbiome.
Yeah, blame the microbiome, because why? They are asking for it. The cravings are there. You need to cut off the cravings, and the only way to cut off the cravings, either go slow, slowly, or go cold turkey. Stop it immediately. You will suffer for the next 7 days. But then after the suffering, your bacteria are dead there. They are no more giving you the cravings. You're fine. 7 days. You are live for 30, 40, 50 years. Can I ask, 7 days, just stop your rice or stop your bread, and then you see what happens to your body. It reverses because you're going to kill the bacteria. Okay, next. Okay, so they had this kind of food now. You see, there's a very, very strong statement I'm making there. Yeah, they never had rice, they never eat meat, they never had bread. Originally, research now is showing, okay, this is new research, they only add whole food plant-based. Whole food plant-based. How many of you, probably to me, or how many of you have seen the Live to 100 blue zone? Live to 100 blue zone. Okay, now if you look very carefully, their diet is all whole food, plant-based, very little meat. Very little meat. Now, I used to give talks in Adventist Hospital in Penang. Adventist Hospital in Penang, okay? They observe the Sabbath day. Saturday is a holiday for them. Sunday they work. I don't know whether you know this, okay? So when I gave a talk at the Adventist Hospital, you know, those days, when you give a talk to doctors, lunch, all I have to pay, right? Okay, so I have to pay lunch and all that. But the lunch they came and said, hey, all vegetarian food. I say, hey, why you all no meat here? I want to make sure that doctors are pleased and happy and all that. No, we have to make the doctors happy sometimes, right? Says, no, we don't serve meat here. I said, yes, sir. Then I went to the canteen. No meat is served in Adventist Hospital. Okay, now Adventist Hospital, Adventist people are the same people in the part of the five zones. One of the zones is Loma Linda. The longest living people on earth are the Loma Linda people who are actually Adventists. They don't eat meat or very little meat. So if you look at all the 5 zones, they eat very little meat, right? Okay, so but rice and bread is something very, very recent. Okay, now I know it's going to be like, how not to eat rice? How not to eat bread? Our fathers, our grandfathers, we all used to eat rice and bread. Now this is where the crux of the matter comes now. Next. See, we were hunter-gatherers, but today we have become. Now I have chose this photograph. You know why? 2 reasons. Firstly is the person who leads the cart is your child, who picks and chooses what she wants, and you as a parent will have to say, otherwise she will throw a. Oh, yeah, very good. You must have gone through parenting as well. Okay, so they decide what you want to eat, and you give in. Whose fault? Cereal. And they are seeing all the advertisements. And the advertisements are very lovely. They go and eat cereal. Children are eating. Children, Papa, hi, mommy, I also want this. I also want this. And so now, but that's point number one. Point number two, can you see all this colorful stuff? Your ancient parents never saw this. Never saw this at all. Right? Now, if you want to see the kind of food that the ancient parents had, okay, go back of the supermarket. Go at the aisles at the back there. They are stuff at the back there. All the vegetables and food are all at the back there, or at least one corner there. Okay, it takes up only 10% of the whole supermarket. True or true? 10% of the supermarket is meant for the food that your parents used to, grandparents used to eat. So now sometimes I tell people how to know which food to eat, which food not to eat. Just ask one question: was this food available 200 years ago?
No.
Simple, okay? And if you give a cake, there was this food available 200 years ago. It was not available 200 years ago. Then it's not supposed to be eaten. I mean, it's a rule of thumb. A simple rule of thumb. Next. Today's food, white rice. White wheat, maida, white wheat, rice flour, okay? Bread, mihun, roti, chanai, chapati, naan, cakes, biscuits, pastry. See, all these are wheat-based. And they're full. These are the words that we use in Malaysia. If you go to other parts of the world, they use other words, but they all mean the same thing, wheat, okay? Then white sugar, sweetened drinks. Now, these three food stuff was not available 10,000 years ago. 10,000 years ago, it was not in existence, okay? Go to the next. And then, of course, fast food. You see, rice was first domesticated and cultivated in eastern China about 8,000 years ago. Give and take another 10,000 years ago. Okay. Now, human beings, we are Homo sapiens. We are modern man. Homo sapiens. Go to the next, then you go back again. Okay. Go to the next. Now, we are Homo sapiens. This is the world history, Earth history. How long Earth has been. I don't know whether this is true or false, but based on archaeological carbon dating and all the whole stuff that the people do, and this is so it's for 4 million years. Okay, so these are the different types of men which has come into the different types of men that they have found based on the skulls, and we are Homo sapiens. We only came about 240,000 years ago. 240,000 years ago, modern man, human, Homo sapiens came on Earth, or rather evolved. Don't ask me how, but based on archaeological studies, okay? So now, go back to the same one just now. So this only came about 10,000 years ago. So if we have lived for 240,000 years ago, and rice only came 10,000 years ago, 230,000 years, man ate what? What did he eat? They survived. Of course, the lifespan was shorter because they were involved in infection, and plagues came in and many other things came in, and life was tough there. But they did not eat rice. Rice and bread was never part of the human diet. Doesn't matter, we eat rice and bread, but the rice and bread has changed. Okay, now I tell you how the rice and bread has changed. Okay, now it used to be this brown rice. They mill it, become white rice. In the process of milling, you lose about 26 to 83% of all the minerals in a brown rice. So, krak, they say, as the nutrient dense. This is a nutrient dense food, a lot of nutrients here, but the nutrients have been removed out because of the milling. I remember giving this talk in Alustar many years ago, about 15 years ago. I was giving this talk in Alustar. In fact, not 15 now. I think about 18 years ago. And someone said, I want to ask a question. He put up his hand, no? I said, look, questions I take at the end. No. He said, I need to address this issue right now. I said, okay, what's your issue? One Chinaman brought up. He says, I'm a miller. I'm a rice miller, he says. I have to address this issue right now. He says, this was 18 years ago. He says at that time, I'm now maybe different. He says, I'm a rice miller. Nobody wants to eat this rice. They want to eat this rice only. So he said, I'm a miller. I'm just catering to my customers. Okay, very interestingly, just about 2-3 weeks ago, I told the guy, I said, look, I will tell this story of yours. What's the story? I went to the Indian restaurant. Okay, I also like you. I eat dosa and Italy. Right? But I said, do you know the Italy? Our grandmothers make the Italy. In those days was white in color, pure white. 50, 60 years ago, the toast was white in color, maybe a little bit of brown, but it was white in color, not like the crispy roti that toast that we see today. Toast, I'm talking toast. It was white in color, and there's one place right now still sell that toast. Is a place called Satyanari in Brickfields. So sometimes I go there and have my toast. Beautiful, you just eat it, melt. Okay, I said that was how. I remember this. I remember my grandmother, the owner of the restaurant. He says, I remember this. Okay. And then I said the second thing is the thosai had sour taste. The thosai had sour taste. I said, what happened to your thosai? Why you not? I said, Jagdev, here, who want to eat thosai sour taste anymore? People don't eat sour taste. I'm catering to their taste. And then now it's all crispy. I have to add a little bit of sugar to make it crispy. And put ghee. Or whatever it is, and then I serve it to them, because why? That's the taste. They want this kind of taste. I have to cater to the taste. No more white in color. See, anything from white turns brown, advanced glycation end product is happening. It's being glycated. Okay, something is changing there inside. Okay, so that's why it says, okay, so you are losing a lot of crack, a lot of nutrients. It's a nutrient dense food, but changing it. So first and foremost, don't get me wrong. First, humans never add rice. First, get that message first. Okay, even if they eat rice, they are changing the rice to something which is more palatable. Okay, that's point number one. Next, go. Okay, now if you look at this white rice and brown rice got a lot more nutrients compared to the white rice. Okay, although calorie wise this is more, I don't bother with the calories. Calories is no more in my dictionary anymore. I don't follow calories anymore, right? Because why? It's not about calories. It's about eating the right food and for the right microbiomes. Okay, but there are a lot more nutrients here compared to here. Okay, so brown rice has got more white rice. Only thing is brown rice has got arsenic there as well. So be careful with arsenic. Next, arsenic. Okay, so sugar. See, originally it was ganna. What it is, cane, sugar cane, right? Now, sugar cane, I know you all would have eaten sugar cane. I remember when I was young, I used to eat sugar cane. Okay, today's a lot of children haven't even seen a sugar cane before. Correct or not true? Okay, they would have probably seen a sugar cane now, only during Hokkien New Year. Hokkien New Year, got that? Okay, 9 days after the Chinese New Year. Or they will see someone selling one obscure one corner there, someone still selling the sugar cane water. And then you see the sugar canes there. They will say, indeed, this is sugar cane. Beta, this is sugar cane. But those days we had sugar cane. Okay, then the sugar cane was this much, and then they had snippets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maximum snippets, 5 snippets there, and then you take out the shell, and then you chew it. Okay, you could have chewed one. Okay, nice to eat, right? You chew it, and then you throw away the husk or whatever it is, and then you get the sugar taste. Eat the second one. Would you have eaten the second one? Would you have taken the third one? Would you have taken the fourth one? You said a very important word. You get tired of chewing. See, Mother Nature stops you. Mother Nature is stopping you. Stop. Stop. Because you get tired. Because that was how it was in the original whole food type. It's a whole food plant-based, right? So you get tired, you won't eat more. However, 1 tablespoon is equivalent to 2 sugar cane. People don't realize this. So now you are taking two sugar cane canes in 1 tablespoon. So see what's going to happen to your system. Yet you couldn't take 3 of the snippets. You see where we are going wrong. Okay, important message here. And then every time you change from here to you turn it to white sugar, it also loses a lot of minerals, carb, nutrients. It's a nutrient dense. Yes, and there's something there which actually blocks you, and you will never become diabetic with eating that. There's something inside there They can help you stop diabetes. But here, the thing has been removed. Okay, next. Wheat. Punjabi staple diet must have wheat. Okay, now again, from brown to white flour, all this is lost. You see chromium? Chromium is a very important component for diabetes. To control diabetes, you need to have chromium. The moment you turn to this, 40% of the chromium is lost, 60% of calcium is lost, magnesium, very important. There's someone yesterday called me, said I got cramps. I said you are lacking magnesium. So magnesium is lost, potassium is lost, selenium very important as antioxidant activity. Vitamin B's are lost, very important for energy. Vitamin E is lost, protein is lost, 95% of fiber is lost. Roti canai, cakes, biscuits, everybody is eating cakes. Everybody is eating biscuits. Children are eating. Okay, our cereals, our ancient parents never had, and they all had the fibers. Our children are not getting the fibers now. Then they're going to get sick faster, easier, eat sooner. Right? So this is a major issue, right? And on many other trace elements are lost. Next. You see, I took this photograph. I saw this photograph and I thought I need to send a very strong, simple message. Okay, this is a photograph. Someone, not photograph. It's a painting. Sorry, it's a painting. Someone drew this in 1655. Okay, someone drew this in 1655. It's a wheat farm. And if you see the wheat farm, how small was the wheat? I'm sure you have been to the Kheta in Punjab. And how high are they now? Physically, something has gone wrong. Physically, something has already gone wrong with the wheat. They have hybridized it. Okay, this is called hybridized. I am not even talking about genetically modified food. This is hybridized food. Okay, so this is 1655, and I'm going moving forward. Next. This is modern wheat farm. Okay, yeah, this high. Okay, now what happened actually in the 60s? There was a food scarce. There was not enough food, and they were all working on some new ideas of how to increase the acreage or increase the yield of the acreage of the wheat. And someone by the name of Dr. Norman Borlaug came along. Okay, next. Dr. Norman Borlaug came along. You go next first. You go next first. Okay, this is Dr. Norman Borlaug. Okay, he did some studies and he was able to increase the yield of the wheat by 10 times more. Okay, so he introduced these wheat grains to Mexico, and eventually he came to Punjab. He came to Punjab and he introduced this in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s. Okay, he introduced that in Punjab, and this guy, Charanjit's father, okay, that's when he introduced this. And today, this is the wheat that is being grown in all parts of Punjab. That wheat has been hybridized. It's no more the original wheat of the ancient parents. Now, in the 70s, if I remember very, very well, I used to go to Tata Khalsa temple. Okay, those days, even Johor Bahru temple, the rotia, the chapati was much more harder. 70s, much more harder. Okay, they were much more, probably had more fiber, more in whatever they had, right? And the atta that my mother used to use was much more brown in color. Correct? We have seen these changes taking place right in front of our own eyes. The change has taken place from 70s, 80s, 90s. Today you have seen how the roti has become so polia, for example, so soft. Okay, soft chapatis. Now, do you like to eat hard chapatis or soft chapatis? Oh. So it's again catering to what you want at the expense of your own. Okay, now Chandigarh today is the diabetic capital of India. Yeah. Of course, there are many other factors involved, right? Now, today they're using tractors. Could be a result or could be a cause. Tractors. Those days they used to do themselves. Nowadays, they bring the guys from Rajasthan or whoever, Biharians and all that, they come and work their farms, okay? They are not working. They are enjoying their life, right? They all become diabetics, but food is also another component of this. You know why? Go back to the next earlier one. Because why this bread now is no more the original bread that our great grandparents used to eat. Because why? It has changed, okay? 2 slices of whole wheat, not whole meal, whole wheat bread raises blood sugar higher than 6 teaspoons of white sugar. You don't realize this. Now, as I say just now, based on this, you could be in a different stage. The same 2 diabetics taking 2 pieces of bread, one will show a sudden increase, one will show a less spike. It's because at the stage where you are in. Now this explains, because a lot of people ask me, is this food okay for diabetic? It's okay for diabetic if you are at this stage. At this stage, maybe you're okay. But at this stage, you're not okay for you. But in the first place, wheat is definitely not okay for you.
Ask a question because that is not reversible, is it?
Reversible. Everything is reversible.
So the damage that occurs.
Reversible. Everything is reversible because why? The cells are always changing. When the cells change, the old cells die, the new cells, it is a new one.
The receptors don't work in humans.
Yes, we can make the receptors work again. Anything is reversible. If you can make a neuroplasticity, we can make people to walk again. This is nothing. We can always reverse it back again. And that's what's happening in the case of Bob, for example. In fact, I'll try to bring Bob in. When we got Bob's number, maybe we can get Bob to come in.
The Zoom.
Huh?
Bob.
Okay, maybe you can unmute Bob.
Bob is there.
You should unmute yourself, Bob. Bob is actually Bob. Yeah.
Hi,
Bob?
hi Jagdev, how are you?
Hi, Bob. Okay, Bob, just a little bit of introduction. Bob used to be thinner than me, I think, Bob, huh?
Yeah, I was very, very thin, skinny boy.
He was a skinny guy. We all grew up together in St. Mark's School. We were his mother. Probably some of you will know. My sister is Hardev Kaur. They call her Lata Mangeshkar of Malaysia. She does kirtan and all that. Now, Bob's mother is the one who taught her kirtan. Okay, so this is the Bob. Now, over the years, I lost track of him. And then when I last saw him, he was 3 times, maybe 4 times my size. Bob, sorry, Bob. Okay,
It's
Bob.
all right.
Okay, so Bob, you tell us your story, your journey. When you joined in and what happened, Bob. Just listen to
Yeah, I was diagnosed for diabetes at the age of 32. Prior to that, I love my beer. I still do, but and I used to drink a lot of beer. Not to get drunk, but I just love the beer. And one day I started urinating a lot. I went and saw my doctor, and my doctor turned around and told me, look, your sugar level is 7.2. Come back tomorrow morning after fasting, which I did. It was 7.5. Say you're diabetic. Put me on metformin. I said okay. Then I first thing I did was I called up my uncle in Australia. He's a doctor. So I told him, I said, Uncle said I'm like that. His first thing he told me is get off your meds, go into insulin. That's what we do in Australia now. Go and see your endocrine doctor and tell him you want to go on insulin. So I said, okay. So I went and saw the Dr. Hugh at JMC, and he was very, very surprised that the first time in his life a patient coming to him being diagnosed diabetes and being asking to be put on insulin. So he asked me why. I said, in Australia they do it. So I go, my advice is from my uncle. So he said, okay, if you want insulin, they put it. So he started giving me one shot a night. Eventually, over the years, I didn't control my diet with even the one shot. And then, I ate everything under the sky, drank everything under the sky. And I gained a lot of weight. I was at one time 125 kilos. And I ended up taking 4 jabs a day before every meal. 1 jab before every meal and 1 night jab. Then I met my brother Jagdev after many years. Bhagat, Jagdev and I, we were sitting in La Cochina with our wives, and Jagdev threw me a challenge. He said, Bob, I challenge you you can reverse your diabetes. I said, Jagdev, no way I can reverse my diabetes. He said, no, I challenge you You follow me and you can reverse your diabetes. I said, okay, the challenge was I will reduce my weight and I will go for a Malacca trip. Jagdev, I'm still waiting for the Malacca trip.
Okay.
Anyway, so anyway, cut the long story short. So over that was October last year. Okay, it's 13 months today. I have lost 22 kilos.
32 kilos.
22 kilos.
Yeah.
I've lost 22 kilos. My waist from 44 has dropped to 39. My insulin intake today, in fact in the group I just put in a testimony that my insulin intake from 4 times a day, I basically I started reducing it slowly with Jagdev's advice. From 28 units 4 times a day, I brought it down to 24, 20, 16. Now, then I started experimenting with my body. I started doing experimenting with my body because at the end of the day, like what Jagdev said, I've been following the talk just now. What Jagdev said is correct. You have to tell your body what you want and not let your body tell you what you want. And you also have to listen to your body, what your body is telling you. Okay. So what I did was I do a lot of research on diabetes and I experiment a lot on my body. So I started playing with my insulin, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, until I came to a certain level I knew I was comfortable with. And now, as of yesterday, I can proudly say from 4 times a day, I only take once a day at night. And that also from 28 units, I only take 6. Last night I didn't even take it because before dinner I was 5.7. And so I said, what I had was I had a little rice with chicken and some vegetables. And in the morning, I got up, I was 5.2 with no insulin. I only took my diabetic tablet, which is a Trajenta, 1 tablet at night, and that was it. I take 1 day, 1 night, and that was it. But eventually, but then during the day, like yesterday, I was explaining to Jagdev 2 days ago, I was in Sunway Pyramid getting my phone done, and I was feeling a little bit queasy, and I was wondering why. So I came back home and I realized my sugar. I checked my sugar level was 3.7. So basically, then when I told Jagdev last night, Jagdev was telling me maybe because perhaps your tab the metformin with the other hemoglobin is too much, so you need to reduce it. So eventually, I know maybe in about a month's time, by just following what Jagdev has been telling me, I'll be off the meds. I'll be totally. I mean, my body will be probably got used to it. My cells, my receptors will be open, and I'll be off my meds automatically. You know, if I've not met Jagdev and I wouldn't be where I was. I am right. I feel so much more better. I get up in the morning. Those days I used to be a bane for me to come down the stairs from upstairs. But right now is I can just run down the stairs with no issues. No, because I feel good. In the morning you feel good because you're not tired. Because those days I used to be so tired, you don't get enough sleep. It was difficult for me to sleep. And then in the morning you get up, you're tired. And I used to go to work and things like that. Now I'm retired, happily retired. So nowadays I can come down the stairs, no issue. I got no worry. And even last night I was telling my wife, I was lying down, I was on, just lying down, and I was already started to sweat without even taking my what do you call insulin jab. I started sweating. So that's when I start to sweat. I know with the aircon on, I know my sugar levels are going down. So I said okay, let's just see what it is. So I just left it. The sweat went away. But in the morning I just went off to sleep. Then in the morning when I checked, it was 5.7. I said very good. Eventually I'm there. I'm coming there. Like it all boils down to food. What you eat the night before. I mean, you can have your rice, but have it in a small portion. That's what I mean. I don't restrict myself to a very specific diet. but I eat things very moderately. I eat things very, very small portions. So I have like very, very small portions of meals. This Jagdev, I had my tose and my tose bawang and my idli this morning with fish and chicken curry mixed together. I also have my craving by today is my cheat day, but no roti canai today, fortunately. So that's my story, but at the end of the day, it's you tell your body what you want instead of your body telling you what you want. I also take, my wife also makes for me the turmeric juice. She makes fresh turmeric juice. Basically, she grinds turmeric with ginger. What else, darling? You put orange, lemon, and then when she puts it in a slow juicer, gets the juice out, throw in some pepper and honey, a little bit of honey, manuka honey, and sometimes I put in cinnamon inside. Bottling the small bottles, I throw in the fridge. So every morning I just open one bottle and drink one whole bottle down. You feel good. Your bowel system, your body feels good. You cleanse your body. Turmeric is it's a God-given what do you call God-given food for everybody. Good turmeric and garlic. So start taking turmeric. It's very good. So that's my story.
Okay, thanks, Bob. Thanks. Thank you very much for sharing. Okay, you see, a revolution is going on. You can fully control your diabetes. Diabetes is within your reach. You can throw it away. And Bob's story is a very, very inspiring story, motivational story. He just shared his story in my group last night. And I told Bob, you come on Zoom today. Next. Okay, so yeah, Bob said he drink beer. But whenever you have this, we call it the beer belly, right? It's not a beer belly. It's a wheat belly. It's a wheat belly. It's because of roti, wheat. Because why even the beer, they got barley and the whole works, right? They're all grains. So it's a wheat belly. This guy, Dr. William Davies, wrote a book called The Wheat Belly. You can read about him. And if you're going to have breakfast, roti canai, lunch, break, dinner, and the whole works, you're going to have wheat belly next. Okay. Now, removing wheat alone, it will improve weight loss, reduce appetite, lower blood sugar, reduce joint pains. You see, wheat has got gluten, gliadin. They are all, and these are not the same types that our grandparents used to eat. They all have changed already. And the whole works, okay, does a lot of things to improve sleep, increase energy, reduce blood pressure. So it's wheat. It's a problem. Okay. When I go to the airport, I see all food all based on wheat. How to eat? Sometimes that's a major problem that you have to overcome. Next. When my patients gave up wheat, they lost an average of 26.7 pounds each. They also beat diabetes, joint pains, colitis, fatigue, blood sugar problems, and more. Next. Okay, so current food idea is we cut off fat, because why we've been told fat is bad, fat is bad, fat is bad. When you say fat is bad, what they do is when you cut fats, you're actually increasing more carbohydrates as a component. Okay, that's what's happened. Okay, now then you get excess glucose. Now the next slide is another important slide. 2 slides. Okay, see, 1 bowl of rice is 10 teaspoons of sugar in terms of caloric terms. Wow. People don't realize. So you eat banana leaf rice.
Parboiled rice.
Okay, parboiled rice better. So now people are getting smarter, right? Originally, all Indians only had parboiled rice. Basmati. Okay, now I'm talking of normal rice. Your banana leaf rice. Okay, so banana leaf sort. Okay, so you get this big pile of rice. Okay, so this guy eat maybe 2 bowls. 2 bowls. Say 2 bowls. Maybe even 3, right? The way they eat, right? 3. Okay, so 2 bowls la karla. So 2 bowls means how many teaspoons of sugar? 20. Okay, after eating the 2 bowls of rice, which is equivalent to 20 teaspoons of sugar, ane bawa satu teh tarik kurang manis. Kurang manis? Why kurang manis? You already had 20 teaspoons of sugar, and then you're asking kurang manis for what? They don't understand the whole process. I don't blame them. Okay, because they don't know this information. Okay, and then The other thing, sorry, banana leaf rice. You know all the bhajia there? Not only overcooked, unrecognizable. You don't know what it is.
Correct.
All mashed up, right? All the vitamins all gone. Okay, so that's another aspect of India. That's why India has got a higher amount of heart disease, diabetes among all the other races, at least in the country in terms of percentage wise. Okay, in terms of absolute figures, I think the Malays are higher. Okay, so 1 medium baked potato, half cup of sugar, 1 cup of cooked pasta, 3/4 cup of sugar, 1 dinner roll. You know, dinner roll, those days, the dinner roll got 1, 2, 3 potato bread. Remember, people used to line up in front of Carrefour, I see. Those days, sedap betul lah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You know that people can just eat all that whole thing at one go for dinner, right? All the 9 loaves. Okay, the body is crying. Ayo, you are not giving the wrong food. The microbes are crying there. But you see, you didn't realize. Because why? For you was, I want to feel the stomach. What happens to your body, up to my body. I don't care now. Once the problem comes, diabetic, now what to do now? Okay, but who created the problem first? It's ignorance. It's ignorance. You didn't create the problem. It is because of ignorance. So now I'm telling you this. I started this journey to sharing this information 20 years ago. I've got 30,000 people who have heard my talks those days. I used to give a talk in Armada those days. But maybe you all may not have heard of it, but every weekend I used to give talks those days. Next. Okay, now wait. Carbohydrates, carbohydrates will turn to sugar, from sugar turn to fat. Okay, because why? It's a storage process. Okay, so now this is the next one, which is very, very important. See, when you are having high excess glucose, what happens to your insulin? Will go up, right? Correct? Okay, now way before you become diabetic, your insulin's already high. Remember that, way before you become diabetic, your insulin's already high. Your insulin's already creating problem. First problem your insulin will create is to increase your cholesterol. Insulin increases cholesterol? Who said that? My doctor says coconut oil can increase the cholesterol. My doctor said eggs can increase the cholesterol. My doctor says prawns can increase the cholesterol. Jagdev, you are the first person who tell me sugar can increase the cholesterol. True or true? Go and check. Can sugar increase cholesterol? Where is my cholesterol is going up? Where is it coming from? People, I got one vegetarian. Hey, my cholesterol are high. Jagdev, can you help me? I see you're a vegetarian, isn't it? Yeah. But cholesterol are always from the meat, from the eggs. You don't eat eggs. You don't eat meat. But why your cholesterol is going up? I say answer that question first. Answer that question first, then I help you. People don't understand. Sugar can cause the cholesterol to go up. Check Google. I've been telling this 20 years ago. Nobody wanted to believe me. I had a full talk on how to control your cholesterol. They told me, Jagdev, it's out. You are not there. Nobody talks about this. Doctors don't tell me this. This is all wrong. I also shied myself out and I stopped giving the talks because the world was not ready for this information. The world was not ready to accept this radical information. Sorry, even a lot of people came in and gave a lot of information, but they just were not ready for this information. Now, this is 23 years later. There's still a lot of people who are not ready to accept this information. One lady told her, I spoke to one lady yesterday. I said, look, I will help your condition. This is my doctor, don't believe in it. I say, you follow your doctor. What to do? I cannot override a doctor. I can't, by law, override a doctor because he's a doctor. That's why I put a disclaimer here. Please don't, and I also told you all, don't believe a single word I say here. I'll repeat it again in case people will want to sue me. Don't believe a single word I say here today. I'm afraid people might just kill me because I'm going to help people to reduce their diabetics and drug companies are going to reduce their business. I'm afraid. Some people say, you brani. I say, I brani. Doesn't matter. Where I can, please protect me.
Bodyguard.
So now, these insulins will increase your cholesterol. Check and see. These insulins will make you obese. So people who are obese is because you are having insulin resistance. Okay. This insulin, the same thing will increase your heart disease. The same thing will increase your blood pressure. Your blood pressure is caused by insulins. And the insulin will cause heart disease. a kidney disease. Oh, satu gang.
Package.
It's a package, it comes in a package. Okay, the key thing is insulin. That's why I tell people, check your insulin level. That's what my sister did because she got this information from me. Her glucose levels are normal. I got no glucose, I got no diabetes, but her insulins were already raised. In a few years' time, she would have become a diabetic. At least she arrested the problem earlier. It's important. It's so important. I will repeat and scream, please help yourself. I'm trying my level best in talking this for the past 23 years. Trying to get the message across. It's tough. Next. Excess insulin makes you fat. Excess insulin increases silent inflammation. Excess insulin accelerates heart disease. Excess insulin shortens your lifespan. Okay, next. So this is the food that you're supposed to eat. Whole food, plant-based, a little bit of meat here and there, go ahead. The blue zone people, okay, they eat meat 3 to 5 times a month. The blue zone people, for those who don't know, the blue zone people are the longest living people on planet Earth today. There are 5 areas: Okinawa, Icaria in Greece, Sardinia in Italy, Loma Linda in America, and in America, and Nicoya in the South American country, right? There are 5. They didn't go and check what you eat. They checked back on who are the longest living people and then did a study on them. Okay, and they found out that this is what they eat and this is what they ate. Okay, even in Italy where they ate the bread was unleavened bread. It is a whole wheat. They plant themselves, and the whole works is not the hybridized wheat. Right? Okay, next. What about sugar from fruits? Okay, as per in fruits, that's fine. Even then, take it early part of the day. Don't take it at night, right? That's a old grandmother tale. Don't pluck fruits at night, right? They say, and don't eat it at night, right? Now, the thing is, the drug industry, or rather the food industry and drug industry are working back in hand, okay? The food industry and the drug industry are working back in hand. How? They know that you are checking your glucose. So these guys are only checking your glucose. Okay, I tell you what, in your food now, okay, don't add any more table sugar, add high fructose corn syrup, add fructose because they're not checking glucose. They're checking glucose, they're not checking fructose. They're checking glucose, they're not checking fructose. So we add that and then tell them there's no sugar there. You take them. Fructose is worse than glucose. Okay, next. Normally, my talks to doctors is like that. My talk to doctors, all my slides are reference-based. I can't talk out of the world, out of simply, everything is reference-based. This is 1 or 2 slides that I have, which is reference-based. It's taken from the International Journal of Obesity, London, 2008, December 32, supplementary 6, written by Brown, Gallup, and Montani. And they say there is also considerable evidence that fructose rather than glucose is the more damaging sugar component in terms of heart disease. I'm not saying this because when you talk to doctors, you cannot say I'm saying this because I'm not a researcher. I use other people's research to convince them, right? So this is one of them. Fructose is worse than glucose. And today, the food industry, the packages that you have, you drink, the children are drinking, they all are not using the table sugar anymore. They're using high fructose corn syrup there. Our children are becoming sicker faster, sooner. It's happening right now. Because why? You don't measure fructose, you measure glucose. So it's the biggest kept secret in the industry. Okay, next. So high fructose corn syrup. Okay, what is high fructose corn syrup? See, the thing is, this is what they're adding in a lot of your food. Next. Okay, it's a sweeter. You buy fruits. Ada manis kah? That's the first question you ask, right? Tara Manish, he has to find Manish one only, isn't it? Because if he doesn't sell a Manish one, no Manish one, you won't buy. Okay, if Tara Manish, it is Manish, you go back, you eat Tara Manish, he'll get scolding, right? That's how the world works. Because why? We all become sweet tooth. We all like that. We love sweet, right? So it's sweeter, easy to blend with other foods, longer shelf life. Okay, and it's cheaper. Lots and lots of corn are being grown in America and Europe, and they take the corn and they turn it to corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, and that's what they're using in all food packages. You name it, wherever you see anything sweet, they say no sugar, but there's sugar there, and it's all using high fructose corn syrup. Okay, because why? Again, before that, because you measure glucose, not fructose. So your glucose okay, but your fructose in bad shape. Fructose can cause blood pressure to go up. Fructose causes gout. You know, the gout if people have is caused by fructose. Fructose is linked to many other. Fructose is also linked to diabetes as well, right? And fructose gets locked up in your liver, and then you have fatty liver disease. That's caused by fructose. I was telling this to a lady who was the head of department in one of the colleges, one of the universities here, and I said, "Look, this is what it is." And she says, "No, Jagdev, I don't believe." 3 months later, she met up with me and says, "Look, I think you are right." I said, "Why?" She said, "I've been taking a lot of fruit juices, and I'm now having fatty liver disease." Okay, so fruit juices is bad because it's a concentrated of fructose. Okay, if you want to drink fruit juices, no, drink fruit blends where the fibers are still there, and add some vegetables there and mix it even better. Okay, you want to add some, even if you add some bitter gourd, that's fine. So the sugar will overcome that bitter taste and you will be able to take, but it is in the blend rather than juice. I take blends. Okay, next. Fructose makes you fat, promotes diabetes, damages liver, kidney, and pancreas. You see all these problems? Okay, they are related to fructose. I know I'm going to go, I told you, you asked me how long? You stay here another 2 more hours. Okay, I know you're hungry, but don't worry. I know you're hungry. Next. Okay, now, top, you know, yogurt, they have put their high fructose corn syrup there inside. One check. Okay, so be careful. Make sure you are taking the right yogurt. Otherwise, I tell people, please make your own yogurt the way your parents and your grandparents used to make. Did they buy? No. Why are you doing it? Start making it and take it.
What about the natural yogurt without sugar?
At home you make, please.
But if you take outside.
Greek yogurt.
Okay, yeah, you go and check and see, because this is what I know. They add high fructose corn syrup because the original taste is very, very not nice. This is not nice at all. So they add, go and check the ingredients there, whether they have added sugar or not, okay? Bread. You know, there's one advertisement, it is so good, you can eat it on its own. Oh, you all know also. I didn't mention the names. I tried not to mention their names because they'll come and sue me. Why you talk bad? Now, that bread, what do they add that you can eat it on its own? You know how the bread is when you eat bread at home, right? The atta and all that. It's bland. How come you can eat it on its own? Okay, they've added high fructose corn syrup in breads. Okay, frozen pizza, cereal bar. So all these foods have got fructose, and that's what is because why they add fructose. I told you why they add fructose. Shelf life, sweet. Huh? Taste better, cheaper. No. The biggest reason you are measuring, you don't measure. That's why they add. Smart people, we have been conned.
Corn by corn syrup.
We have been conned by corn syrup. Okay, next. Okay, even the salad dressings, sir. Okay, salad dressings. Okay. This is how they have got different names, sir. Different names for the same thing. Okay, so you check and see. Oh, high fructose corn syrup. Now they don't use a high fructose corn syrup anymore because a lot of people are talking about it. So they will change the name. They put that fructose syrup, the syrup, all same. Satu adik beradik. Okay, next. Okay, so before they take out this one. Next. Okay, now watch this movie called Game Changer. It's on the Netflix. I've been telling people to watch this just for your information. Just watch this movie called Game Changer. It's a documentary on Netflix. Game Changers. Watch it. Next. So what to avoid? White, rice, mihun, all forms of morning cereals. Your children should stop taking cereals. At least the protein is better than cereals. At least, right? And the yogurt is a homemade yogurt. Bread, bagels, chapati, naan, mee, made of wheat. Possible, remove it, reduce it little by little, 10%, 20%, 50%. For 6 months, my wife and I, we completely stopped taking wheat.
Now what do you eat?
I'm asking you again. Our ancient parents ate what? There was none. Every day eat. Yeah, they add ghee and roti. You eat vegetables, fruits, whatever. You just keep on eating, but don't touch wheat. But you see, at the end of the day, once a while, okay lah, okay. But at the end of the day, what you want? You want to eat your food, enjoy your food, go ahead. Like Bob says, yes, he has his cheat days. For the other days, he has got a big problem. Because he has got a big problem, that's why he's doing what he's doing, right? Bob has got a big problem. That's why he's doing what he's doing. But when you are healthy, you won't do what he's doing. You understand this? Okay, so you are waiting for the problem to come, then you will change. Why can't you change now? Up to you. Up to you, right?
Excuse me, did you go for cold turkey or?
Me? No, six months I went on cold turkey. I knew it from day one that I was sensitive to wheat, and I knew it for a reason. I'll answer your questions later. But my wife, well, she wasn't convinced, but until we did the hair test, and both of us were found to be sensitive. So we said, okay, we stopped for 6 months, and we did it because the body will forget about it, and later when you introduce, it won't be that bad. Okay, that's how it works. Okay, next. So there are many things, roti canai, juices, and all that. This is a study which was done in 2021. Okay, this is a GP in UK. A GP in UK who started giving his patients less or low carbohydrates. Okay. And within 6 months, for 6 years, within 6 years, okay, in fact, less than that, type 2 diabetes remission 46%, pre-diabetic remission 93%. He's seen the effect so great. This is Dr. David Onwin. He is another person like me, but he's a medical doctor, and he's he's done research to prove it that whatever I've been saying for the past 23 years works. Right? Next. So, for reversal, we know that bariatric surgery will reverse it. We know the surgery will reverse, okay? We know that fasting can reverse your diabetes. We know that very low carb diets can reverse the diabetes. But what is progressing? Insulin really progresses diabetes. Your drugs, anybody has taken drugs and reversed diabetes? Not at all. It's progressing it worse. And then, of course, the fat bats, the bad fats, which is causing the problem, okay? So that's not going to solve the problem. Next. So what to eat? So many food to eat, Benji. So many food to eat different ways.
Time, when we are taking our meals 5:30 before 6, on my way to the excuse. I'm talking my personal life experience.
After that, let us speak.
Very hungry, and it affects my sleep. That's how I take away that.
Okay, what I do is, I also, just like you, what I do is I take some pistachios or some nuts, a little bit of nuts, okay, and then drink with water, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. And let me take, okay, there's a study done. Green tea and all that. So, colorful vegetables, fruits, berries, nuts, seeds, chickpeas, black peas, all kind of peas, the soya bean, the Japanese one called edamame and all that. I take all quinoa, all types of beans, lentils, tubers, tapioca, sweet potatoes. Yeah, you can have this as your meal, for example. Sprouted grain bread if you want to. I also tell people, okay, I know wheat is bad, but for those who want to wean off wheat, slowly wean off wheat, okay, you can move to sprouted bread first, or you can go to sourdough bread, or many other this all moved to millet base. Millet base, ragi base. Okay, people have gone to ragi base, for example. So go to ragi base, but slowly you will see how your sugar levels start to come down. Okay, Bob did it within 1 year. I told him, take your time. Take your time. It took you 30 years to build up. When was he become diabetic? 30 something, right? Yes, now? 32, okay. So he's now 61. 30 years. Okay. Within 1 year, he has reversed it. Almost reversing it. Good. Excellent. 30 years of development, 1 year of reversal. Done. So take your time. But you can do it within 3 months if you want to, depending on how much of motivation you are having, how much of consistency you want to make the change. You make the change. 3 months minimum, 6 months, sure, 1 year, sure. Depending on your degree of diabetes. Okay, so
I got 4 months.
4 months. Okay, now cut off these fats are bad. Overfrying is bad. Okay, so margarines cut off, corn oil cut off, sunflower oil cut off, soya bean cut off. You want
Sasona
Sasura is fine. Coconut oil is best. I use coconut oil. And I actually, for those who want to come in, I actually set up a group just about a couple of weeks ago. There's a method of coconut oil that I use. I used to sell those days. There was an inquiry in my diabetic group. Or rather, I got another group called a pain management group. There was an inquiry. I said, take coconut oil. I said, which coconut oil? So I showed them the bottle which I take at home. And says, where can we buy this? So I then connected with the supplier, and I have already received about 100 odd orders already. So you can come in. I can probably be sent by post and all that. Like, there's a little bit of business that I start doing right now. I would have brought it here, but I didn't have the manpower to do it.
There are some extra virgin coconut oil in the market.
I know they are. Okay, the one which I use is centrifugal method. I say I'm not here to talk about coconut oil. Next, but cut off this. Cut off this. Okay, so top anti-diabetic. I'm almost finishing. Okay, top anti-diabetic botanicals. First on top. Next, just go through cinnamon.
Very good.
Okay, cinnamon. So just add cinnamon into your food if you want to drink. So any like, okay, you want to take kheer, fine, take kheer, enjoy your kheer, but put cinnamon there. So it's an anti-diabetic kind of thing. So put cinnamon. In fact, there are some restaurants which serves cinnamon by the side there. Okay, maybe we should serve cinnamon. You know, go to the and say, you want to eat kheer, add cinnamon. But who's going to do it?
Vice President.
Huh? Right? Okay, next. I'm just suggesting. Okay. Okay. Now I was in Turkey just recently. We all siblings, or we all were in Turkey, right? Now when we went to the hotel, the first thing they served us was tea. There was no milk and there was no sugar in Turkey. Then we went to the Grand Bazaar. Everybody was drinking tea. We saw them drinking tea, right? There was no milk, there was no sugar. That is how the Turks drink their tea. That's how the Chinese drink their tea. No sugar, no milk. That's how the Japanese drink their tea. No milk, no sugar. Black tea is fine. Green tea is fine. Ginger tea, whatever tea, the turmeric tea is fine. But the moment you add milk and sugar,
Only milk?
I'll talk to you. Very difficult to talk to Punjabis about this. Very sensitive. If you want to listen, afterwards you want to go, you want to have your milk, you after move out. Those who want to listen, I'll tell you why milk is bad. Next. Green tea, Indian gooseberry amla. Very, 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 very. You could take it every day if you want to. Okay, it's very good to. I've done my research. In fact, I brought a product the last time. It reduces triglycerides. It reduces cholesterol. It reduces sugar levels. It helps to reduce even blood pressure. A lot of things it can do. It's anti-cancer as well. Anti-cancer as well. Next, and vitamin C, fresh or whatever. It has got high vitamin C, and this vitamin C is you can heat it and it's still there. Okay. Next, okay, melon, ash god, bitter god, whatever god. God up now. Okay. So take it. Okay, fenugreek, methi. I go to East Coast. Okay, I eat their rice in the morning. Many years ago, I say, how come they're putting methi there?
Yeah.
In their nasi dagang.
Correct.
It's very interesting.
Yes.
Why are they adding methi in their nasi dagang there in East Coast, not West Coast? This is anti-diabetic. They know rice can cause sugar levels to go up. Then they add methi to overcome it. Amazing. Very smart fellas. Okay. Now, do you know why do you eat onions with satay? And onions must be raw. Why? Not only onions, even you eat tandoori chicken, always got the raw onions, right?
Yeah.
Why?
Sagu.
If I tell you the reason, you won't believe me. The satay, when you satay, okay, it becomes charred, right? Today we have realized that charred meat is carcinogenic.
Yes.
It causes cancer. And what is the antidote for cancer? Raw onions. How did they know this? Why must they mix together as a pair? Don't play a fool with this Indian sages. They knew a lot about food, diet, nutrition. That's why tandoor, they char, black stuff, you eat the onions as to overcome that. And that's the reason why they add methi to rice to overcome the sugar. So they are smart people. They understand you have to have this kind of combination to make it work better. Okay, next. Turmeric, I think I told you just now, I have done a lot of research. I used to sell turmeric to doctors. Can you imagine? I used to sell turmeric to doctors for painkiller, as a painkiller, right? Next. Milk thistle is good for the liver. Okay, silimarin is there because why? Sugar, glucose also starts causing liver problems as well. Okay, so milk thistle is to solve that problem. Gymnema is called gurmar. It's anti-diabetic. You can have it in pills. You can actually take it in a herb form as well. It's available in Punjab, I think, if not mistaken. They eat gymnema, gurmar. Go and buy it from there. Aloe vera is also good. You can take it, the drink. Next, ginger. Right, just like turmeric, ginger is also good. It's anti-inflammatory as well. Next, okay, this is where I want to stop for. I am trying to bring this matter up. I've been bringing this matter up for many years now. Okay, we used to serve chane in Gurudwara those days. I grew up in Malacca temple. Okay, I remember those days. They have a tracing paper. They call it tracing paper. Newspaper. There, okay, and then it was char, chane, and it was really delicious, right? You all enjoyed it, right? With the prasad.
Curry leaves.
And with curry leaves. Okay, now it's a tradition of Punjabis and was served in the Gurdwaras. Where is it? Because why? In February this year, I gave a talk here. I also gave the same thing. Okay. Now you see why instead of char chane as a tradition in the Gurdwaras, we have moved on to what next? Next. No, where got kora. Now we are serving what? True. Now we are serving mihun. Nothing wrong with mihun. Okay, eat because why? Tedeta parnaya na. Okay, you will fill up your stomach. But look at the difference between mihun and chickpeas. Okay, carbs, 95% carbs. Chickpeas, only 27%. Total sugars, 4.8%. Fibers, look at the fiber content. Look at the fat content. Okay, protein content, water content, and all these vitamins and minerals are not found in the mihun. This is not nutrient dense food. This is more nutrient dense food. And if you eat chickpeas, definitely you're not going to get diabetic. This is diabetic causing. So, sorry to tell, people come to Gurdwara, they have mihun, which is never part of the diet, but we introduce it here and it's diabetic causing. Why should we serve? I remember this. I was giving a talk in Norjuan Sabha in Titiwangsa when they were there, and our friend Malkit Singh, the famous Sebadar, he gave me a call, said, Jagdev, come and give a talk. I said, on one condition, don't serve. Please, you must have Cholet, right? Kale Cholet. And it says, if you have no sponsors, I will sponsor. Money is never a problem from our Punjab. Is correct or not?
Correct.
Okay, if you want, I will sponsor it.
So, white Chief Priest is
Yeah,
also-
sure. So he did that. Okay. So even the Kabuli Shole, this called the other one is called Kabuli Shole. That's fine, no problem. Okay. So please try in all gurdwaras, send a letter to the Pradhan or whatever is it is. No, tell him that.
Going to implement it very soon.
Very good.
But that also
No. That's not the way. Please, that's not the way.
What about the beach?
The Bronte. You can move a million if you want to. Wait, just a minute. Move. Next. Wait, I'll tell you about roti and shukman. Okay. So you can do intermittent fasting, right? And you can do it. Now, if possible, he eats his breakfast, he skips his lunch, and eats later in the evening. I think that's a better choice to do. Right? Why breakfast is important? Because why? I know earlier a lot of people used to skip breakfast and then eat lunch and eat dinner and then do the 16 hours fast, right? Okay. Now latest research is now showing that when you wake up in the morning, there's a circadian rhythm. Okay, and your circadian rhythm in your systems would want you to have some amount of food in the morning. Okay, so have your breakfast, skip your lunch, or you can have lunch also, but have an early dinner and then stop. But that's where your problem is. So have some nuts with water and all that. Initially, but after a while, it will be okay. Okay, so do intermittent fasting. Next. Now, this article appeared in Reader's Digest in February 2023. Okay, it is based on someone called Dr. Jason Fung.
I started seeing the
Okay,
videos.
Dr. Jason Fung, a very good guy. And 8 people reversed the diabetes doing this one thing. Only one thing they did. Fasting. Intermittent fasting. Only intermittent fasting. And they reversed the diabetes. Just one thing. Intermittent fasting. If possible, once a month, go on a 24 hours fast. Water fasting, if once a month. I know one lady who is now 83 or 84 years old. She does once a day fasting every week for 24 hours. Okay. Now, once you do that fast, there's something called autophagy which starts to come in, and it will start to take out all your toxins in your body. So once a month, or maybe even once a month, 3 months do a 24 hours fast if possible. Try. Okay. I know you can't do it immediately. So I tell diabetics, do a 12-hour fast first. 12 hours fast for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, then do 14 hours fast. Slowly raise it up to 16 hours fast. Because your body needs to readjust with the environment that you are in. Okay, 16 hours fast, then go 18 hours fast, then go 22 hours fast. After a while, you'll find the hunger pangs will only come for a short period of time. After that, no thanks. After that, nothing. You don't feel anything.
My body says, so I listen to my body. I try to skip one meal. I shiver, like, no energy. My brain is not always like.
No, it takes time. As I said, it takes time.
I don't want to create.
Drink water. Water fasting.
Yeah, water, but still it doesn't. So I get hawa. So I say, why should I create one? Try
Okay.
to do something and then create another
Okay.
problem.
So, as I said, eat nuts.
Nuts, yes, I
Yeah.
prefer nuts.
Okay, let me finish the top. Then we go. Okay, so this is a fasting. Okay, next. Now, this is a lady. Now, there are 2 things I want to tell you. First and foremost, I'm going to tell you that I was doing this since 2005. I'm going to share with you the story of this lady, okay, who is 26 years old. She was my staff. I bought a machine, high blood pressure machine. Okay, she was my staff. And I was so excited. I bought a machine. So I said, come, we all do blood pressure. And when I was doing a blood pressure for everybody, and I found this staff of mine had a blood pressure of 162/106. She didn't know. 26 years old. Okay. Now, if this person goes to see a doctor, what will a doctor do? I respect their view because that's what they are doing. Okay. So I said, look, if you go to a medical doctor, they will really put you on a meds. I said, just try 1 month with me and see what happens. She said what to do. I said you cut off all your rice, your bread, your roti canai, whatever you're eating in the morning or lunch, cut it off. Okay, just eat. So she'll just put vegetables, 3-4 different type of vegetables, and just eat that only. Just slightly plump. Okay. Then I say every day, come to office, come and see me at 11 o'clock, take your blood pressure. Okay, every day. Okay, so this is the 23rd of November. So I noted it down. November 2005, 162,106. Then 24th, she came again, 158,100. So fast, huh? Okay, 24, 25, 26, 27, what happened? Saturday, Sunday. So I couldn't take it. So I got no. And the other thing I did was I got someone to be her buddy. You follow her. Make sure she's following. Okay? So a buddy. So you must have a buddy to help. Okay. Now within 1 month, this is my own anecdotal case, anecdotal case. One case, it came down within 1 month, 122/82, just by removing carbs. Now this blood pressure, will she be put on meds? No. 1 month. I've had so many of these people on the phone. Jagdev, I heard you can bring blood pressure down. I say yes. What to do? So I tell him, do this, do that, do this, do that. After 3 weeks, hey, my blood pressure is still down. I said, what else are you eating today? What do you have today? Tosi. I said, Tosi also you cut for time being. Tosi also cut. Yes, sir. After 5 weeks, he gave me a call. Jagdev, my blood pressure very good already. I already normal already. I said, very good, very fine. Thank you very much. After that, I don't know who he is. Like that, I've helped so many hundreds, probably thousands of people. I don't know who they are. They've gone. I just need one help. Thank you very much. I said, thank you very much. If I can help save them to have one extra day in their life, that's all I'm asking. Okay, next. So this is blood pressure. Okay, this is cholesterol. Same story. This one took 2 months. Within 2 months, you cut off the carbs, all became normal. I'm telling you. You don't have to believe a single word I say here today. Yeah, normal already. Ratio is already okay. Okay, all okay already. Next. So this food pyramid diet is all wrong. We were misled. By who? By the US Department of Agriculture. They are the one who devised this food pyramid. It's all wrong. It is going to promote all the vegetables here. Sorry, grains, bread, rice, pastas. They were promoting all this for agriculture. This is totally wrong. Okay, and then the fats, oils. Today we know they're good fats. We need to take some good fats as well. Okay, so then the next slide, please. So this is my slide. My water is right at the bottom. Vegetables and fruits is there. 2/3 vegetables, 1/3 fruits, proteins, fats, starches, and grains are right on top there. Reduce as much as possible. I also have put a component of exercise there. Exercise is important, okay? And I've also put mind rest there. Your brain, your stress level has to be important. So these are three things which are most important. Rest can also mean sleep. So reduction of rest and also sleep. So there are 4 components here. That's all you need to manage. 4 components. 4 things that you need to manage in life for your health. 4 things: food, move, exercise, stress reduction, and sleep, rest. That's all. Next. This is my one. So if those who want to buy this book, I got some books here along with me. I'm only giving it away for 50 ringgit. Okay. It's a prototype copy. If you want to, you can take it in a short while. So this guy wrote a book called The Cure for Diabetes. I read his book 6-7 years ago. Next. There are other nutrients which are also missing. Okay, I'm almost going to finish. Okay, next. I also have supplement, but I don't promote my supplement. But these are some of the components which are missing. First, try to get them from your own food first. So go type chromium. Food with high chromium. Then there's an image there. Look at all the images. That's where the food that you're supposed to take. So vitamin D is sunlight. alpha-lipoic acid, and acetylcysteine, ascorbic acid. These are components which are lacking in diabetic patients. Okay. As I said, I do have a supplement. I don't promote the supplement. Next. Exercise. You can do walking. Very important. After eating, walk. After every meal, walk for at least 2 minutes is okay, 3 minutes is okay, 10 minutes is okay, 20, but walk. That's all. Okay. Tai Chi, yoga, weightlifting, swimming, cycling, aerobics, do whatever you do, dancing, phangada karlo. Okay. But you have to do something, okay? And the best exercise for diabetics, okay, is to build up your core muscles. You see, I tell you the story very quickly. I know it's already past time. Oh, you want to be already. It doesn't matter. We are doing intermittent fasting. Sorry.
Good.
Good. Okay, I'm doing intermittent fasting with all of you now. Honestly, what I eat, please go. Nobody is going to go. Now, see, the thing is, I tell the story. Its narration is analogy. Every country has got an army, right? Every country has got an army. Whether there's a war or no war, you need to feed the army, right? Right? Now, in your body, that army is your muscles. Muscles, okay? That is managing you, okay? And they are the one which are going to take your glucose level. Whether you like it or not, they eat a lot of your glucose. Okay? Now, you can pick up the glucose, the muscles can pick up the glucose fastest, right? So best thing is to develop your core muscles. There are 3 core muscles. One is here, one is back, and these muscles here. Okay, so what I want you to do is very simple. Okay, for those who are starting, okay, just sit down, okay, and then stand up. Sit down, and then stand up. You see here, okay, the first time when you do this 10 times, tomorrow you will have some pain, doesn't matter. No pain, no gain. Okay, do this 10 times. What you're doing is you're building these muscles up. When you build these muscles up, glucose will start to go in. Glucose will start to go in, your glucose levels in your blood will start to reduce. That's how it works. Right? Glucose is going in, so you are working your muscles. So simple. Can we do that? Okay, or you do this. Some people have said do this, right? So while sitting, watching a TV, okay, just carry your heel up and down, up and down. There's the soleus muscles there. It's also picking up your glucose very, very fast. In fact, they say this is the fastest way to do it. But you can't do more than 10 minutes, sir. You get tired. Okay, or of course, the best thing, Penji Satwan was here now. I did this in Klang Gurdwara. Okay, and I think a major was there. Just do when you breathe out, when you squat, you breathe out. Okay, so you do this. If you can do 3, stop at 3. Then go on to 4, go on to 5, go on to 6. I can do 30. No problem. Okay, why? Build these muscles up. When you do this, you're building 3 muscles up. These are the muscles, these are the muscles, and these muscles here. Okay, you're going to lose weight, and this is the exercise that I prescribe all diabetic patients to do. Very simple. Squats, half squats, sir. Empty stomach, wake up in the morning and do lah. Okay, next. Okay, next. Stress. I already told you all, stress. Now, when you have stress, the cortisol levels will start to go up. Cortisol levels will start to increase the sugar levels also. They all are related. Okay, so stress. There are various ways to reduce stress. I also run a program on reducing stress. I give talks to there's a group of CEOs called the Vistage Group. I give talks for them to reduce stress. The CEOs, there are a lot of stress there. Okay, so I give talks. I run a 1-hour program to help them reduce stress. Okay, next. Can sleep problems or a sleep disorder increase the risk for developing type 2 diabetes? It means you cannot sleep, insomnia, you're having trouble, you're tossing, turning. Answer is yes. Multiple studies have shown that repeated awakenings during the night, insufficient sleep, excessive sleep, or irregular sleep, or
Everybody is a good laugh.
tolerance.
In the group,
Oh, very good. Thanks, Benji.
Okay, so be careful. Sleep, must have. Okay, next. I see you have seen this. Okay, a big challenge in today's life. Today, one of the biggest problem in life is dole. Diabetes. To listen to this talk. It's all not about rah, 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 rah. Today we have given live cases. I want to call Major Side. Please come over. I'll call you later also. Please give your testimony. Thank you very much for coming all the way from Klang, okay? Thank you very much.
First thing is, good for people like you.
Thank you.
I know all of you are hungry, so I'll tell you very short
No,
story.
intermittent fasting. Go budget for
I've been having diabetes since 1999. So, of course, I was 1 tablet, 2 tablets, eventually went to 4 tablets. After that, the next thing the doctor told me, now you have to go on insulin gel.
Same story, yeah?
So after that, I thanked to Vaiguru, thanked to him. I met him, he gave me a talk. I stopped completely floating up, completely. I never had, okay? Only once maybe once a month, I might go to Gurdwara and have a little bit. But in my house, I never had. I stopped eating rice and now reduced to 2 spoons of rice only. And today, my diabetes is very well controlled. The doctor has reduced from 4 tablets to 1 tablet.
Wow.
Simple theory, nothing. I didn't cut anything. The other thing I just bought, I like to have fried chicken, so my wife bought an air fryer. So I cook in that. So it helps. It's okay. Thank you.
How much nickel you drink now?
I never reduced my beer. But yet this. No, since you asked that question, I tell you, I was the beer champion drinker in Malaysian Airlines. Everybody, even the masalis from all over the world, they used to come. I was the fastest drinker, but of course I don't drink anymore. 1 or 2 beers.
The millets, tea or any jowar, bajra, if we can replace for chapati.
It's a replacement good, but still, it's still grains. Yeah, still got carbs. That's why I say it's a transition. It's an alternative that I'm giving you. Okay, from bread, go to sourdough bread, or go to rainbow bread, multi-grain bread, and slowly move to millet and all that. Because why? It is, I know, emotionally, it's going to be tough for all of you to just do the transition as he did, moved out of bread, because you will have cravings, you'll be suffering. After a while, you go back there and you start to eat more. You see, people who go for weight loss programs, you know, people who go for weight loss program, okay, you know what is the biggest motivation for them to lose the weight? Because they pay a lot of money. I'm telling you. The moment they stop the whole process, 90% gain more weight than they first started. I'm telling you, this is a stats telling you. Because they stop paying the money. Just a joke, okay? So the thing is, as I said, there's now 2 things, discipline and consistency, right? Yeah, any other questions? So that's, yes, please.
What about gluten-free products?
Now, good question, Penji Harpajan. She also formerly from Kapur in our gang. Okay, now, see, gluten-free product, that's fine. But check and see what are they adding in replacement of gluten-free product. You know why? What they will add? Rice flour. They add rice flour. And rice flour is going to make your sugar levels worse. It's gluten-free. Okay, so just add and see what they add. If something like buckwheat and all that, there are some new ones there, they are coming in, that's fine, but still it's all grains. Now, let me tell you something about grains, okay? Grains, huh? You know lalang?
Yeah.
Huh? They are wild weeds growing very light, okay? Now, can you see the resemblance between the lalang and paddy fields? They're from the same group. They are known as a grass family. Grass family and lalang, paddy. Can you see the resemblance between the paddy and wheat fields? Lalang also, same group. Okay, can you see the resemblance between wheat fields, paddy fields, and sugarcane? Lalang family also, grass family. Okay, they're all grass family. What about barley? Same. What about corn? Same. They're all from the same family. Okay, they're all in small doses. It's fine. When you're in excess, it becomes a problem. In excess, it becomes a problem. So that's why try to reduce grains as much as possible. Even millet and all this, some of them, they call themselves pseudo cereals or pseudo grains, like a quinoa and all that, but they all are in the group of grains. They do contain carbs, so be careful. Our ancestors never ate any one of these. Sourdough or grain or even millet, they never add. But you want to eat because why? It's for your fill, for your mouth fill and for your head. That's why I said, okay, it's a transition program. You go ahead and do that. Because it is a lesser evil than white bread. Brown bread is a lesser evil than white bread. Sourdough bread is a lesser evil than brown bread. You go on like that. Millet is a lesser evil than wheat, for example, right? But they're all in the same group. As long as you can manage, eat a little bit, enjoy life as much as you can, and make sure your glucose is under control so that you don't end up with complication of diabetes. That's what we want to do. My grandfather had his eye, he lost his eye, correct? Huh? Okay, my grandfather lost his eye. He was blinded because of diabetes.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what we want to do. You know, people, amputation going on right now. I got 2 of my family members amputated and then, having a lot of problems because of what? Complication of diabetes. That's what we want to do. Don't go to that extent. In fact, you can reverse it. Major has just showed from 4 capsules, from 4 meds, he has now reduced to 1 med. Even that he will be able to remove it. That's what reversing diabetes is all about. We want to reverse and then good control. You enjoy life. I'm not asking you not to enjoy life, okay? But enjoy life within the frame of your health. Don't let that enjoyment disturb your health so much so that you become a problem or a burden to your family and to the society. That's a fair statement to make, right? Okay, yes, please.
How much turmeric should we take?
How much turmeric should we take?
And how?
See, you can take half teaspoon, okay, or a teaspoon, half teaspoon a day. That's fine. Even a quarter teaspoon will be good enough already. And just add some black pepper, as you were saying.
Warm water.
Warm water. Take it after. I do my yoga, and after my yoga, I have that as a drink. I will add some seeds, cumin seeds, whatever seeds I can see, powder, oregano powder, whatever it is, because it's they're all going to be useful for your body, right? Spices. Okay, if you go to YouTube, you put there Jagdev Singh, you put there spice up your life. There's a beautiful half an hour or maybe 3/4 hour talk which I give, whereby I talk about how spices can reverse the cancers, or can treat, or not say treat, can help in cancer patients. Okay, yes, please.
Now I heard something about this Muruga leaves.
Yeah, please. I got a. You plant a moringa. If you can't plant a moringa tree, I've got a pot. I plant a moringa tree, and I just pluck the leaves, put in my dal, put in whatever it is. Yeah, good. Yes.
Muruga leaves to be a drink.
Yes.
Yeah. I did a little quick test for HbA1c, and it was, for the first time in my life, it was 6.8. So I cried for 2-3 days, and then I went cold turkey. October 10, I didn't know who to come to, so I went Mr. Google, And I went like, my last meal was at 4 o'clock in the evening until the next day. I had one meal a day, like avocados, chickpeas, boiled and all that. I lost 8.3 kg, but my blood pressure has gone up.
Oh.
I haven't tested yet again. I think I'm doing something wrong.
You can talk to me because sometimes I have to look at your history. There could be some stress somewhere. No man. There could be many other things. It's a multifactorial things. Okay. So, but what about your HbA1c? Has it come down?
After 1 month, I did at the pharmacy. It was October 30th. It was 5.8.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm waiting for the next. I'm waiting for. Okay. But is this from what I read also that you do not say when you come back to the normal parameters, you don't call it reverse. You call it reversal. Don't call it a cure. Is that true? Why?
Okay. Legally, if I use the word cure, the Ministry of Health will come, handcuff me. They'll put me in jail. Because for in the medical term, you cannot use the word cure. So that's why I said the guy who used the word cure there, that's another guy there. I don't use the word cure. That's why I use the word reversal.
Why is it that when you're 6.5, then you're pre-diabetic? The moment you cross that, you become a permanent diabetic. Okay, the other test is...
It's a guidelines.
Okay, the last question is the one you mentioned about insulin serum, right? There's one test called glucose intolerance test.
You can also do that as well.
The same thing?
No, different.
Oh.
That one is still looking at how fast your insulins rise and bring the glucose levels down. But still, insulin's test is probably a better test.
Ask about the test because if you do, should we really get after levels or 2 hours after?
You're talking insulin?
No, that's it. The glucose one.
The GPT you do one test and then you'll give you to drink a lot of orange and all that, and then after 2 hours you will have to do that. But that one I will leave it to the doctors because some doctors don't they agree with it, some doctors don't agree with it. There's a lot of controversy based on that. I don't want to deal with that because that's a medical thing. Okay, I'm going back to basic food, diet, nutrition.
So now we just do it. Insulin test.
Yeah, if you want to do the test.
And the HbA1c of 6.3. According to them, is pre-diabetic.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Some places in Malaysia actually they use different ranges.
Correct.
Over they use 6.5 with diabetic. I think 6.3 they already call it diabetic.
Okay. You see, many years ago, this one I didn't tell this. My cardiologist, my cardiac surgeon friend of mine told me this. Many years ago, cholesterol levels normal was 300. Today is 200, right? Every time they bring it down, what happens? More people are being diagnosed, more people go on medication. So I bring it to 250, I bring it to 200. Now they're even thinking I bring 180, immediately millions of people will become high cholesterol area. That's their game. We are not going to touch on that game. What I'm trying to tell you is that just by food, diet, nutrition, you can control almost anything. Where is your body? Okay.
This insulin test, how much does it cost now?
I wouldn't know. Check with that's 200, right?
I just checked.
200.
Does it for 200?
200 ringgit. I just do once or twice a year.
According to cancer marker, you added that 250.
No cancer.
Okay, I want to answer one question. I know it's a very controversial question. It's regarding milk. Regarding milk. Okay. Now, milk cows were only domesticated during the agro era, which is about 10,000 years ago. I mean, before that, nobody drank milk. Just like nobody ate rice, nobody ate bread. Okay. Now, in the animal kingdom, what I'm going to tell you is very, very basic logic. Basic logic. Okay. In the animal kingdom, the cows don't drink milk. The cows drink milk. Correct? Correct? And the cows will only produce milk when there's a cow. Correct? True? Same in humans, right? Monkey? Okay. Dogs don't drink milk. Puppies drink milk. But that dog's milk is for the puppies. Okay? Get it? Cats don't drink milk. Kitten drink milk, and then cat's milk will only be produced when the kitten is born. And that kitten's milk, cat's milk is only for the kittens. When did we become kittens and puppies? Okay, point number one. Point number two, the cow will only give milk when there is calf. Otherwise, the cow won't give milk. Today, they have got an industry where the cows are giving milk all the time without even giving birth.
Yes.
How? Ask, how are they doing it? You are a mothers here, majority, normally my talks, more ladies come than men, because good, so that they can take care of their men. But you ask, women,
They don't listen.
do you only produce milk when, when they're babies, otherwise you don't. So now you got cows who are producing milk all the time. How? I don't understand. Okay. Then they are taking the milk out. They're using all these machineries. Okay, some blood pass, all these are part of the whole process. Now the hormones are also part of the whole process, and many other things. Okay, it's an industry. Okay, now those days you drank milk, you churi the milk, you stole the milk from the cow. Cow, okay, you are just taking it. Okay, just take it. Look nice, it tastes nice, and then you started adding tea and made it into all your stuff. Right now, the thing is, the cows are not producing milk all the time, and that milk was raw milk, but today it's processed milk. That milk that you see is slightly off-white, Go and have a look at that milk, original milk, slightly off-white, because why? There's kyoda, there's milk fats there, right? But this one is processed milk. They pasteurize the milk, they homogenize the milk. There's a lot of process involved. Okay, there's some enzyme that is supposed to protect, digest. Now, why does a mother only produce milk only for humans only about 2 years, 3 years after that, no more milk? Why? Because the baby has got an enzyme called lactase. The lactase is supposed to break down the lactose, because the lactose is found in the milk. So there's milk, there's lactose. The sugar in the milk is lactose and galactose. And okay, it's not glucose, it is not fructose, it is lactose, right? So this lactose needs to be broken down by in the body. Which enzyme does it? Lactase. That lactase in a child goes off after the 3rd year. After the 3rd year, the child got no lactase anymore. So the child cannot break down lactose. Okay, it won't give you the problem immediately. Some people develop 10 years, 20 years, then they get lactose intolerance. You go and check how many people are lactose intolerant in the world today. Almost 3/4. Almost 3/4 of people are lactose intolerant. The question here is, why are the majority of people lactose intolerant? Something wrong with the milk or something wrong with the humans? Decide. You decide. Okay, so that's why you see, many years ago when I was 17 years old, I won't mention names, okay? 17 years ago, I was listening to these 2 sages talking, and that's when I learned. That's one sage telling another sage, remove white rice, white bread, white sugar, white milk, white salt. When I was 17 years old, that was the message I got, and I only started applying that in my life when I was 35 years of age. When that information came back again, I said there must be some truth in this. I was a asthmatic bronchitic patient for many, many years. Whenever I get my attacks, I'll be off work for 2 weeks. I was taking all the medications, Ventolin, you name it, all that, and my hands start trembling because of the side effect of the drugs. Ventolin side effect is trembling. Okay, I went through the whole process. Then at the age of 35, I made a drastic change in my diet. I removed white rice, white bread, white sugar, white milk, white salt, or at least reduce it as much as possible. And then I regained my health. That's how my story starts. That's why I'm here in front of you telling my story. Up to you. You don't have to believe a single word I say here today. It's up to you to accept it. If you don't accept it, it's also fine.
For your information, tomorrow we are going to have another talk by Dr. Murali, and especially this is for men's health. And we want all the men to be here tomorrow. Please pass the word around, and we'll make it hybrid also as well, about 10:30, same time. Hybrid. And this is a professor from Sunway Medical. He has done research and he's director of the research center itself. So he's coming, and thanks to Penji, wonderful Pritam. At the same time, Dr. Kavaljit was mentioned just now. He's downstairs. Please get your eyes checked. You know,
Okay.
I am also a glaucoma patient. By God's grace, it is under control. So please go and get your eyes checked immediately. You never know what is triggering.
He's closing at 2.
Please go down and go and do it. You can extend
Can
another
get a
5
book,
minutes.
can get a book,
Yeah, and thank you, Jagdev, for all the seva. We really appreciate.
Thank you.
The people at home, thank you very much. You can log out now.
Wait, for those who want to, wait.
Is there any questions?
My number is here.
Okay.
Take my number down. Then say that you heard my talk, want to join the WhatsApp group.
Okay. And Jagdev, I got a doctor.